Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Spawncast episode 171, Evan.
Yep.
171. Very cool. We got Sean back. Sean's here with us again.
Hello.
Sean, how's it going?
Not great. I'm playing a game that I'm not really enjoying.
Yes, we're going to talk about that game because I was told that it would get a better Metacritic score than Jedi Outcast.
Yeah, it's I'm actually still messing around with it right now. I just ran into a problem where all of a sudden no button commands were working, so I had to run back into another room to make it work, and it's not how the game is designed. So I don't quite know, but yeah, I'm doing all right.
Nah, good. Then we got MVG here. What's up, MVG?
Hey, what's up? Been a good week.
Have here. Good announcement for you, huh?
Yeah, thank you.
At Limited Run Games.
Yep.
You know, let the people know what's going on. What are you doing?
I am the lead developer on the Shantae project for Limited Run Games on the Switch. So that should be coming out in September. So make sure you pick it up.
Oh, I'm on it. I'm buying that one. Absolutely. Everybody watching this. Shantae is a good game in the first place, but you got MVG taking care of it and bringing it over, so you know it's going to be high quality. So you want to check that one out. But that was cool though to see you get to make that announcement alongside of the event, and we'll see that name in the credits, right?
Yep.
Right,
we'll be in there.
Awesome.
Just scroll by MVG and we're like, what?
So you put in a cheat code to where I can just get straight to the right part where you're announced, right?
Just for you, man. I'm going to put it in just for you, RJ.
I want it.
Cheat codes.
That's pretty cool. We got Miss Click is here with us tonight too. Miss Click, how's it going?
Hello.
Good to have you here. How's your week?
No, it's good.
Good.
Yeah, I still haven't finished Last of Us Part 2 because the game. All right, listen.
You're still working through that. Wow.
Yeah, I was watching this click. You were having so much fun playing as Abby. I was really excited to watch
worst,
how much fun you were having.
You were the worst, dude. The game drags on for years.
I was causing all sorts of shit.
It's good when the description of the game is that it drags on. It's like, yep.
I was just starting problems with people. I was just being a dick.
Dude. I feel like I'm playing like two games in one. You know what I mean? But other than that, I'm finishing it tomorrow. I have to. I just need to get it done. Like, can't go another week with it underneath.
How many hours in are you?
Honestly, I have no idea. I have like 3 hours left. So
she's about like I would probably say when I was watching, she's 20-ish, 17.
Yeah, you're about there. You're about there.
Yeah, I think it took me about 21 hours to beat it, so you're basically right there then. Yeah,
she's in because she's right in that part where that.
Which day of Abby?
I just got off the little rowboat.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Not too terrible.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Good. So we'll see that your reaction to the ending then.
Yep.
Okay, that'll be interesting. OJ, what's up? OJ's with us tonight.
What's up, man? Just trying to not catch any entanglements around here, bruh. You know what I'm saying? So I'm good.
Just got off that Bakugan hype. Awesome.
Yeah. No entanglements with Bakugan. Hopefully, we'll see.
Are you
talking about that
throwing this word out tonight? Is this what's gonna happen?
No, I swear that's the last time I'll say entanglement.
I muted the word on Twitter.
Why did you do that? Yeah, that was the worst thing you can do. That was the worst thing you can do. You should expeditiously unmute that word, okay?
Stop, dude.
Expeditiously unmute that word. What's wrong with you, Click?
Oh my god, my heart's so sad this week, dude.
We got Evan. What's going on?
Busy week, kind of rough, but getting through it, trying to finish some work up.
Cool. Okay, and then Jordan with the N64 shirt.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay, what's up?
I didn't have my GameCube shirt. It was in the wash.
Okay. No, it's okay.
Set on fire.
I somewhat temporarily have left YouTube, but I'll have an announcement next week.
Wait, what?
Oh.
Yeah.
But you're on YouTube right now.
But I'm on YouTube right now. But as far as Jordan Fringe, I don't know him. I don't know that channel. Sorry.
Who dat?
Who dat?
You got out of the Pokemon card.
You
got out of the Pokemon card pack stuff right before I bought some Pokemon cards. Jordan.
Yeah, I like how I get a text. I thought you were trolling me.
No.
At first. You're like, hey, Rebel Clash, the newest set. I'm looking to collect. I'm like, who are you? What do you mean looking to collect? Every time you talk about Pokemon, you're like,
you ever get that wave of nostalgia and you're like, what did I do when I was younger? I collected Pokemon cards. I know somebody in the chat's done this where they're like, I used to get Pokemon cards. And I was like, let me see. Because when you're that kid and you can only get like one pack every now and then, you're like, when I'm older and I have a job, I'm going to buy a bunch of packs.
Hell yeah, dude.
I mean, do you want all my old packs? I got like a whole crate of them.
Did you start?
The last
Do
time.
you really?
Yeah.
When was this? When was it from?
Wait, how old?
I think
Yeah,
this
I
was
was
the
gonna say, hold on,
last.
Jordan.
What was the
Hold on,
last
no,
set? No, what was the last set? Right?
Rebel Clash is the current. The one before that, Sword and Shield.
Yeah, I think I was
before
doing.
that's Cosmic Eclipse.
I think
Yeah,
it was
like
Cosmic
Evolutions,
Eclipse
right?
was the one I was doing.
That was the end of last year's set.
Yeah.
Okay.
I want to see that collection grow. All right, if you're serious about it, I want to see that. I want to see you have a great
my
collection.
favorite Pokemon card.
Yeah,
I don't know.
let's
At least they tell you how many cards are at the bottom. Like it's like
Yeah.
192, and then there's like so many after that that are like not
see. There's
counted.
secret
So
rares. Yeah,
yeah, I was like, I might play around with it here and there, and put them in the little.
I'm
get
still
little-
opening packs and playing Pokemon games and all that stuff on Twitch though. So
You know
like,
what
I
I'm
would
amazed is
not do it
that
on
like
YouTube
it
anymore.
sounds like it hasn't really changed much or gotten better when it comes to storing the cards. Because I was like, what does everyone do now to store them? Like, do they still do the binders
I
with the
have
card
boxes.
sleeves?
Oh, you got Chunky Eevee.
That's
love
my
that one.
favorite.
That's a great alternate art card.
It's
where
my
it's
favorite. Why is it?
it's a good
blurry?
card.
I was like, is that how they still do it? Is just that you use the card sleeves and the binder still?
I mean, for most people, like I do it based on sets. So, like I'll make a binder and I'll put the newest set in one binder. And
So it
then
hasn't
like, start
changed
in
for.
that set.
It's been 21 years. It hasn't changed at all.
All my bulk is stored in like tins from the stuff I've opened or in boxes that have like released with.
Well, I mean, what kind of tech are you expecting to have expanded for the card
It's
collecting
literally
world?
either boxes or binders. That's the only.
I mean,
two
the
options
binder
they
doesn't
really
connect to
put out there
Wi-Fi or
today.
anything right now. So like, I don't know. You feel like come up with something.
Well, you just put it in a
There is a
machine
really good
and it
app,
puts
though,
it on the internet
to keep
for you.
track.
Just
There's a good app to keep track of what cards you do have though now, which is really cool. So
I'll play around with it, Jordan, just to see. I thought it'd be something interesting to do, and maybe eventually, as my kids will be able to get into it too. And they'll, 20 years. If I had known that like the Charizard and stuff would have been worth that
Yes,
kind of cash,
please
I
let
would
your
not have
kids
destroyed
know
it.
to handle the cards correctly.
Destroyed it.
Like
I
when
used
you
to
actually
have
pull-
one. I used to have a Charizard back in the day when it first came out.
Was it a first
And-
edition?
It was the first packs that came out back in the day because I remember my
If
friends.
it's a first edition, no shadow on the side of it, you could currently have a $55,000.
I don't know. I don't
right
know,
now.
dude. I kept it in my lunchbox. I don't know if it had a shadow.
That
or
was
not.
very smart of you.
The story's getting worse and worse.
Yeah. Well, I mean, back then they weren't worth that much. And I remember
Yeah,
my
I know.
friends' parents would buy us booster packs whenever we went to like, I think it was like the Rite Aid or something. They just had them on like on the side. And I remember my friend had like a Blastoise and a Venusaur, and I pulled a Charizard. And I'm like, oh, this is great. And we walked around, pretended like we knew how to play with them, but we kept them in like lunch boxes and stuff. And that thing, who knows where that is? It probably got destroyed. Now I'm looking at it.
Stolen
I'm
by
like,
another kid at school.
it might have been.
Usually
I don't know.
happened. If
Yeah.
anything brought theirs to school. Never bring the Charizard to school.
It is a shame, yes, but I thought about that though. I was like, if I actually took care of them, it would have been worth something. So
You could have had some good profit in that vintage stuff.
yeah. Oh, now we know. So who knows? Maybe 20 years from now, that set will be worse. I don't know.
There's
We'll
a
see.
few things worth investing in right now, but I won't bore the chat with Pokemon talk.
Okay,
anymore. I'm sure they're
that's fine.
like, shut up, talk about games.
You should talk about Yu-Gi-Oh meta.
We should. Now that's a throwback.
Look, we gotta already go into Bakugan. All right,
That's a big throwback.
We'll leave it at the Pokemon cards. Nate, what's up?
Good.
That is such a deep cut. Holy crap.
Nate, what's up?
Girl, play some games.
Shut the fuck up, Sean.
You weren't talking.
Drink your Zevia.
I thought you'd have been plugging Nate the Hate immediately when we got on air.
Well, I couldn't. We were talking about Pokemon cards and lunchboxes and fat Eevees and shadowless
Said chunky.
at noon Charizards.
How was your week? How was your week, Nate?
It was a long week. Very long week. But we had a quality Nate the Hate episode where we had Jeff Grubb and Rand join us to talk about the Microsoft July event. Some quality right there.
Okay. Very good. We'll talk a little about that showcase as well tonight as we go on. Did you play anything good, Nate, this week? We might as well go into that now.
I
since you're up.
played Deadly Premonition 2.
Oh, good. Okay, great. So Sean's here. He's playing it right now. You can tell because he looks really, really sad currently. And you are playing it as well. So hit me with the impressions for it.
It has none of the charm of the first game.
Okay.
It really
I think
is.
that's fair.
Wow. So it's not even the technical performance necessarily that's like killing it for you. It is just the straight up.
The first game's technical flaws weren't. I mean, the game wasn't perfect in tech performance, the first game, but it wasn't abysmal like this one. This is a travesty.
I saw it freeze at one point when they were bowling. So it like literally dropped to 0 frames per second. Or I had one. I'm sorry.
It does that all the time. We're in the overworld area, like on your skateboard, riding around.
The game looks like an early 360, late PS2 game.
Well, it's pretty technologically advanced for like a swervy title, though.
But you get to a point where it's like, you know, we probably should delay it. Like, here's my thing. Spoilers for my video tomorrow. Nobody on God's green earth expected Deadly Premonition to get a sequel. So when it was announced, really, you have all the fucking time in the world to work on this game, to make it run at a decent frame rate, because nobody expected this sequel. It's not like people are sitting around like, when's that Deadly Premonition? This isn't The Last of Us or something like that. Like, everyone thought this was a one and done. So it's bizarre to say it, but it feels like the game is rushed, and I'm like, who is it rushed for? Why would you rush this? Like, there's no reason to rush this at all, because it's not a series that is going to have a high demand in the first place. It was a niche series to begin with that just sort of built up a cult following over time. You have time to work on this. It's just
that's where I don't want to say it's rushed. I think the budget was just basement level, because who is the market for this game? It's the people who enjoyed the first one, which is already like 50,000 people.
And that's being
the thing. It's probably had a budget of like $2 million, and this is what they came up with. I mean, thankfully they did say we're going to patch it.
But at first they didn't. They were talking about not patching it, and then they came back and said, "Oh, I guess we will patch it." You think they're actually going to be able to fix this thing?
Yeah.
I mean, if the frame rate was better, if the frame rate was better, the loading times are atrocious in this game. If the frame rate was more consistent and better, I don't even think it needs to be, you know, 1 billion frames per second. Just something more stable. I think the game would be more mediocre. You know, like I do like some of the things about the game, but there's a lot that I don't like. And like Nate said, a lot of the charm of the first game is lost in this game, and I'll go into more depth tomorrow on my video on the channel as to why that is, because I obviously was a fan of the first game, but I feel like that would have a more average to a sub-average game if the frame rate was bad. As it stands now, like the people who were giving this game like 9 out of 10, I honestly feel like they were trying, because yes, there are some 9 out of 10 reviews out there. I honestly feel like go on Metacritic, dude.
I'm going. Don't worry.
Just saying, name some names.
But like,
because they deserve a video made on them for that.
And it's almost like they wanted to capture that same spirit that the first game had that was so divisive. But the things that made that game divisive weren't technical issues, and they weren't, you know, just random bugs and things like that. It was like, do you like B sort of movies and stuff like that? Can you appreciate a game that has a small budget? And correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't Deadly Premonition, the first game, a budget title at like $30 when it first came out?
I don't think it was. Yeah. I don't think it was full price, right? It definitely wasn't.
Yeah, it was definitely a budget release. I don't know if it was 30. It might have been like $39.99.
Yeah, I thought it was. Okay. I thought it was 40. Yeah. How much is this game? 50.
50. Yeah.
And Nintendo was distributing it.
Yeah.
That's a weird thing. It's like Nintendo actually put their hand in this, like, yeah, we gotta help get this out there. It's kind of like Devil's Third type, where they just saw this horrendous game that has such this cult following. They're like, we got to get in on this and fund this.
Let me tell you guys about this game's Metacritic. So I go to the Metacritic to see like what it's at, and I'm like, oh snap, somebody gave it a 10 out of 10. But then I look closer and it's digitally downloaded, and then it says The Last of Us 2.
What?
And then it talks about, but then again, they mentioned The Last of Us 2, but they use that as an example of giving it a 10 out of 10, 100. Digitally downloaded it.
But, you know what? Like they're trying to do the Jim Sterling thing when he reviewed the first game, be like, this game captured exactly what it wanted to be, so this has to be perfect. And digital download sound like they tried to just copy that with this.
You can't give this game a 10 out of 10. Like that's, I don't care how much you can't give that game a 10 out of 10. Like from what I've seen, everything that Sean is saying, the frame rate is so like people are disappearing.
10 out of 10.
See, that's the thing. People thought the bad performance was intentional.
No.
No.
Once they came out and said, we're going to patch this, all of a sudden that campy idea was removed. But some stupid outlets were like, oh, it runs like shit because that's what he wanted to do. Like, no, it's
not. Because the first game didn't run like shit. You know, it wasn't great, but it wasn't
horrendous.
Yeah. Like, there are things I do like about the game, and yes, tomorrow's video will be overly negative, but there are things that I like about the game, and I'll explain those. And I do think
you're trying to save people $50.
Yeah, I do think a patch would help, but you know, this game was not ever going to be a huge seller, and now since it came out and it's just so half-assed at points, you know, it's probably the end of this franchise. And you know what? Maybe that's a good thing. Maybe we shouldn't have gotten a sequel from it. Maybe we should have had the first game, let it be its own thing, and then let it live on in infamy. Not every game necessarily needs a sequel.
So I have a question.
Yeah.
How did this game pass certification?
Because it works. The frame rate is just absolutely bad.
It just
runs
bad frame rate. Yeah.
MVG, you're gonna have to get a hold of this thing and start some overclocking.
I mean,
I was thinking about it. I was thinking about
past. And that
I mean, Arc, WWE 2K18, like all those games pass certification. I mean,
we gotta get MVG on
the whole Nintendo stamp of approval. What happened to the Nintendo seal of quality, man? Like, Jesus Christ, people who say that sort of stuff.
John, I was thinking about doing that. I just don't know if it's really that interesting to most people, you know, what it looks like if you overclock it. I mean, it may run better. Hopefully it does, but maybe we'll just wait for the patch and hopefully they'll address it themselves, you know.
That'd be an interesting Digital Foundry video.
I think they did it.
I almost
up. If they didn't, I think they did though.
Deadly Premonition 2? Digital Foundry?
I think Digital Foundry did one.
I mean, for the second one too?
Yeah.
Did I miss it? Oh, I might have missed it. I'll check it out.
It's a mess. I mean, Swery's last real good game was probably the missing JJ Macfield and the Island of Memories, and that was a good game that no one played. And instead, everyone.
I feel like the patch we're talking about now, in like a month, we'll all forget about it, and there'll just never be a patch for it.
Yeah, like
fits Deadly Premonition.
Bloodstained.
Oh no. Yeah. Okay, well, speaking of Bloodstained, we did play Curse of the Moon 2. I played it. Sean played it. Yep. Nate played it.
I played it.
G played it.
I did not play it.
Jordan did not play it.
I should play it.
Did you? You didn't get a chance to play it, OJ?
Haven't got a chance. I'm still kind of working my way through Future Connected.
Okay. And Evan, did you get a chance to play it?
Nah, my Switch is upstairs, so I didn't install it yet.
Oh, okay. Okay, got it.
It hasn't gone upstairs since it came out.
So
no reason to.
It's blocked off, man. You just can't go up there.
So Curse of the Moon 2 is $15. Came out yesterday officially. They had review codes go out actually pretty early, I would say. Like, they were pretty confident, I think, in this game release. That's because it's if you like the first one, you're probably going to like the second one. It's just more of the first one, but quite a bit of extra stuff, I would say, put onto it as well.
It's a lot longer than the first one.
It is a lot longer, yes. I mean, that's a good thing, though, right? There's a lot more to do in it. And I like the characters are very different feeling too. Like
Fuck that sniper guy.
Okay, hold on. You don't like the sniper character?
Absolute worst character in the world. I hate him with all of my heart and soul.
Okay, well, hold on.
You sneeze on him and he's dead. Like, he's worthless.
Who's the best character for you?
I really like Dominique. And
I like the mech. I like the mech.
Yeah, the mech dog is dope too.
That's pretty cool. Mostly because it just crushes spikes. Doesn't even mess around.
Yeah, like he's very versatile, and plus he can float too, which is very helpful because some of that like the game, it's like the first 4 or 5 levels, you're like, all right, I got this shit, and then like you hit like level 6 and 7, and you're like, okay, and then you hit the level 8 and the final boss, and you're like, you get to the subsequent playthroughs, and you're just like, that's why I didn't review the game, because I got on the second playthrough of the game and I'm getting my ass rocked, and I'm like, all right, let me try casual mode. I'm still getting my ass rocked on casual mode. I'm like, fucking hell, man.
Dude, that thing, it goes like NES Ninja Gaiden real quick.
Yeah.
Real quick.
It's fun. It's a great game, but yeah, it's super challenging.
You know what really, I think if I didn't have the knockback, because I think casual mode, they get rid of that knockback, right?
Yeah.
Like, where you hit enemies
casual
with it.
mode gets rid of the knockback.
I didn't turn on casual mode. I'm still playing through it. I think I'm right at the end, and I was like, this is getting ridiculous because like
I got to the final boss, and I had to turn on casual mode in order to beat him, just because I wanted to see what would happen next. And then I was like, okay, whatever. With my subsequent playthroughs, because things change on the subsequent playthroughs. Slight spoiler alert. There's like different story stuff that happens, and you go same areas but different ways that you go through the areas, and it's just like. Even the boss battles on the subsequent playthroughs change as well. So like the first level boss, it's the same boss, but there's different mechanics that go into it. So it's very, and then there's the whole other characters thing that you get into. Some of the characters you don't have access to again. So it's very interesting. It's very interesting how it works. Great game though. Great game. I love it.
It's hard. It's just tough as nails. So, but I think for $15, it's a great pickup.
Better than Deadly Premonition.
I mean, technically, that's what 2.5 Deadly Premonitions, three Deadly Premonitions.
3, yeah.
So, yeah, that's or three Curse of the Moon 2s. Yeah, so I would recommend getting Bloodstained instead, but it's very difficult. I like it. What do you think of it, MVG?
I like it. I didn't get it early like you guys did. I just got it yesterday, so I'm on level 2. But I'm enjoying it. I'm playing with Dominique. I think the game's great. It's everything that I thought it would be, and I can't wait to keep playing through the game, man. It's awesome.
Yeah, it gets a little aggravating towards the end, but there is that sense
I've
of you beat it, and it's like, oh, I finally, I got it. So it's that is at least their difficulty. But what about Jordan? What'd you play this week?
I finally, after 2 years, for some reason, I never beat God of War on the PlayStation 4.
What?
I just never beat it. I think it was at a time where I got super busy with work and I didn't have time to continue. And then time went on. I was like, I'm never gonna remember how to play this game, so I don't want to go back and play it.
Let me ask Jordan, how good was that game?
So after finally completing it and going through the story, I will say this: the story is fantastic. I actually really like the humanization of Kratos and him trying to cope with having a son and finding out about. I love the lore, and I hope they explore the other lores that they tease in the game, because it's a beautiful story and a beautiful journey. My one problem, and this is just with, I guess, as a gamer now compared to how I was maybe 5 years ago, I'm tired of padding. I'm getting really sick of padding in gaming. And this game, there's a kind of like a central hub area, so there's too much backtracking in this game. And the other problem is it's too many random puzzles. It's an action game, I want to do my fights, I want to do some cool epic stuff, but then I walk into a room and say, okay, you got to move that orb to this orb, but at the same time you got to run through that and do that over there. I'm like, I just want to progress. I don't want to do all this in one room for 10 minutes just to get to another room to do it again.
God of War has been like that. It's been like that.
I know, and I was fine with it. Like, I think I really like with Ascension was the first game I noticed, and I was like, okay, this is just way too much puzzle. And I think that really pushed it away from me enjoying puzzles in games at the moment. But that being said, I think it's a solid 7 or 8 out of 10. I think that the puzzles hurt it for me, and the backtracking severely hurts. I hate the backtracking. It's literally constant. You have to go up. Just going up the mountain twice in a row. It's like, all right, go up the mountain twice after you do it. It was just a little annoying. But I will say, some of the coolest boss fights I've ever seen in a game. Some of the most satisfying boss fights as well. And the story was fantastic. I cannot wait for whatever happens next, because the ending was beautiful.
On the PS5 too. That's gonna look. I mean, the game already looks crazy on the PS4 Pro, right?
I actually want to see if there is any visual upgrade that they do for the PS5 version. Like if they actually like make an enhanced version of it, because this game is gorgeous.
It already has an uncapped. It has an uncapped frame rate, so they could try to lock it at 60 on the PS5.
Yeah, I would just think like 4K 60, and it would already look better than the majority of games probably that we would see, or just as good as a lot of the games. Maybe not as detailed or some of them, but I think that game already looks insanely good on PS4 Pro.
Oh yeah, it's still the face is looking incredible still. I have not done all the extras. I just got to the end of the game where it says, okay, now here's all the other stuff you can do.
You want to get spanked, do the Valkyries.
Mm-hmm. No, I think I've had my fill with God of War from now. I literally played it nonstop all week in my free time, and it was really good. I'm just glad I got to beat something from my backlog that I haven't touched. Literally, my other saves are from April of 2018 when I stopped playing, and I was like, oh, it's been over 2 years. I should finish this.
I also picked up yesterday. I picked up CrossCode and played a couple of hours of that so far, and I like it. So far, it's been pretty good. It takes a little while to get started. Even after a couple of hours, they're still like, "Hey, here's your character unlock menu now." So it's one of those games, but it is, from what I can tell, a 16-bit kind of top-down style dot hack game, essentially, because it's trying to play on that whole MMORPG, but you're single player and your character is like special for some reason in this MMORPG. Kind of mixes a little bit of the Matrix in there too with what your character is in the game too. But I'm liking it so far. I was talking to Jordan about it a bit before I went on, where it's an action RPG like Secret of Mana, but then it also has like twin stick shooters elements to it as well, where you move over to actually be able to go back and forth between swinging blades around and all that. So they throw a lot of enemies at you at once, but they give you a lot of really cool things you can do to try to fight them. And of course, you level up big skill tree, massive skill tree. Like there's one massive one I'm looking at now, but there's also 4 parts outside of that for the skill tree. So there's a lot of progression in the game outside of just leveling up, and different equipment levels and all that too. So it seems like there's gonna be a lot to do in it. I'm gonna keep playing it this week, leading into Friday when most of my attention will move to Paper Mario and Ghosts. What about Miss Click? What'd you play this week?
What? Just Last of Us.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
I'm so excited for Ghosts.
Yeah.
I want to spotlight a game that I played this week, though.
Okay, Sean, hit us with the game you played this week.
So, spoiler alerts! I'm working on a retro compilation for Switch Video, where I basically talk about various retro compilations. And Namco just released a collection 1 and 2 thing digitally, but they released a physical edition of collection 1 in Japan. And so I was like, okay, it was only like $40 on eBay. So I picked it up. Pac-Man Championship Edition demastered is on this. And that, I'm not a huge Pac-Man fan. I like Miss Pac-Man. I think it's cool. I play this game for hours and hours, and I literally only play Pac-Man Championship Edition demastered. And it is so much damn fun. It is absolutely fantastic. It needs to be a standalone release. And also Splatterhouse Wanpaku Graffiti is on here too, so that's cool too. But yeah, absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing.
What compilation is that?
It's a brand. There's Namco just did 2 or it wasn't even arcade, it was like 8-bit compilations of NES games that they released on the eShop for $20 a piece. And they did a physical edition, which is known as Namcot in Japan. And I saw it on eBay and I was like, well, what the hell? You know, I'd rather get the physical edition anyways, because it sort of plays into the video. But yeah, like the Pac-Man Championship Edition is freaking amazing. And like the crazy thing is they actually extracted the NES ROM off of the collection, and you could play it on actual NES hardware. There is a sound chip. There's an additional sound chip that it uses that you had to have a specific Famicom cartridge for. That's evidently very rare from what I've told. So if you're playing it on actual hardware, there might be some sound effects missing. But it's crazy that because it's literally like the colors and the music and the sound. It's like you don't even sort of realize it's an NES style game, and you might be thinking, oh, it's an NES style game, but it's an actual NES game that will run on actual hardware, which makes it just amazing.
What's it called one more time?
Pac-Man Championship Edition.
No, not that.
The Namcot collection.
Okay. There we go.
I didn't put a T on it. What the hell's up with that? And don't tell me it's a silent T in the
Are you
chat.
sure it's Namco T? Is not how you pronounce it?
No, Namcot.
What about OJ? What'd you play this week, man?
Yeah, I've just been kind of finished Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition, pretty much doing some Super Boss stuff. Then I got into Future Connected as well, which is really cool. So it's cool to just, hop into that. It's like the little extra side story that they put in there. Not as big as Torna, so it's nothing like that. Some people were thinking that it might be like that. No, it's not that, because it's like a little extra thing. So I've been playing through that, and that's interesting. They changed some of the mechanics. Shulk doesn't have his vision anymore.
But he has the Monado, right?
That guy's the Monado. Yes, he's the Monado. But so yeah, I've been playing through that. So yeah, I beat all of Xenoblade Definitive Edition, and yeah, like I really enjoyed it. Like it made the side quests and everything so much better because of like some of the stuff that you can do. Like I actually finished the majority of the side quests, which originally I did a lot of them, but they were so annoying because you couldn't track your. I mean,
there
like,
wasn't any tracking, right? So it made it like it's like go find this. And you're like, where is it?
It was a nightmare. I mean, back then, I mean, we had guides, but when I was playing it, we didn't have a guide because like I was playing the European version. So like there was barely any, so people were filling it out online as they were playing, you know, because I got it day one on the European release because it came out a year after the Japanese release, and obviously people weren't playing people were playing the Japanese version, but they weren't making guides for it like that. So this one was much cleaner to get through. Really enjoyed it. Ending was great. Really cool. Makes a great connect. People always ask about Xenoblade 1 and Xenoblade 2. Definitely play, like if you played, a lot of people played Xenoblade 2, then they didn't play 1. Make sure you go back, play 1, you know, and the ending, it fits. It's great. It's a fantastic connection. So now I'm on Future Connected, and so I'm having fun with that. It's a smaller scale, but it's cool. And I think that's pretty much it in terms of anything new or whatever I finished playing. I know I just play like this typical Smash Brothers. Played more of that. Played Mario Kart like I always play every single week. So that's fun.
Sounds good. What about MVG?
Curse of the Moon 2. Clubhouse games.
Someone said skip MVG. He's just playing Clubhouse games all day.
I love it. And I'm waiting for the Namcot collection to get here. I actually ordered that myself because I'm all about that demake as well.
Dude,
so
good.
I'm just waiting for it to get here. But other than that, nothing really. Just waiting for Ghost next week. That's a big one. That's
gonna be good when that comes out. I'll be real interested to see what everyone thinks about that one.
So excited.
We should have reviews dropping this week. I think in the next few days, right? I think it was the 14th. I think is when they're dropping.
Didn't you guys kind of find that interesting though with the reviews because Last of Us Part 2 had reviews like super like 2 weeks in advance?
It was pretty early on. Well, the problem with those reviews is they can only talk about like 3 hours of the game in the review, and they're like, I can't even talk about anything that happens after like the first quarter of the game. So that was kind of weird because it was so story driven. And I guess I don't know what the deal is with Ghost, because apparently they sent the review codes for those out like a while ago.
Yeah, it's been a while. It's been about 3 weeks, I think.
So reviewers weren't allowed to talk anything past 3 hours in The Last of Us Part 2?
No, the contract literally says you can only talk up to this point in the game, and you cannot mention anything else past that. You can only review a portion of the game.
Yeah.
Were they allowed to factor in the rest of their playtime in their review score?
Yes. You couldn't mention specifics beyond a certain point out of fear of spoilers is how they regulated it.
I mean, think of how difficult that is to review the game and not be able to talk about most of them and be like, I don't know what to say.
The contract
People should probably look at Nintendo embargo sheets more closely then.
Yep.
I just think it's funny.
Yeah.
I don't
not have said yes to those two.
I get those games on launch day, so it doesn't matter for me. Like,
I don't give us a review. What are you talking about?
How much of a problem do you think Ghost is going to cause? I feel like Ghost is just another Prime game that's going to get review botted up and down just because it's a Sony game, just because it's after Last of Us.
I feel like a lot of people are looking at Ghost like it's I see a lot of people excited for Ghost.
I'm excited. I just think it's just that game like an accidental example, right? Like with like Astral Chain, right? That was just a game because people were mad they didn't get that game on other things. And then they review bombed it.
I mean,
this is another big game right for that.
Do we like still like count reviews as anything important? Like I don't take anything seriously anymore.
It's just interesting that you can't have these review sites work functionally properly anymore because like review bombing.
I was thinking about this the other day, and tell me if this is like too restricted, but like what if in order to like review a game, like you had like your SKU number or like your registered like a product number or something.
I think, didn't Steam put it into place that you have to have X amount of hours?
Steam has that.
Yeah.
Steam has like a purchase thing where it's like, I thought they had that where it's like they have.
It's not just purchase. You actually have to have played it for like a certain amount of hours before you're allowed. Shouldn't you get like a
product ID? Like if you have a product ID, then you plug that into the system, and if it registers, like if it's a valid number, then you can leave a review. Like why don't they just do that at this point? Because like,
I think one of the sites. They just updated, instead of being able to review it, like if you're not a registered reviewer, if you're a user, your user score can't go in effect until at least the next day. So you can't spam it day one. You at least have to. The game has to be officially released.
Leave that spam review in your notepad to copy paste
Literally,
later.
people are just going to be. People will come back to just review bomb, and it's not like they're like, oh, now I have to wait a day. Okay, never mind. I'll not do it.
That's
why people just don't take it seriously.
I don't take user reviews seriously. It's just fodder for making videos and getting clicks. That's really all it is, and that's what people do.
That's because
I mean, let's just be real here, right? I mean, they come out, it's been review bombed, and it's a big story. Oh, we'll make a video.
No, Jordan, you know what's going to get review bombed? You know which game of the two is probably going to get review bombed? Probably
every game.
Mario.
Every game.
After what we saw, Paper Mario's getting hit.
Wow, it's a Switch exclusive. That's so bad.
No, I don't even think that's
can't have Paper Mario on my PlayStation 4.
We'll actually get into it because the Treehouse definitevely showed us quite a bit about that one.
Arlo's summoning up the troops.
Go over to let's Evan, we got a Discord question.
Oh yeah, we got a couple. We'll go with could we see Switch XL next year?
Probably
Switch
not.
XL?
Yeah.
I don't know about
giant Switch.
A giant Switch. Are you mad enough?
They're probably called. I don't even think they're called Switch Pro. It'll probably be called like new Nintendo Switchers.
No,
They're
we call Switch Pro XL.
Switch you,
Big Daddy,
only. Switch Mom, Switch Dad,
Man.
Switch Daddy,
Big Daddy Switch. Come get some.
You know, they should bring back Super and just call it the Super Switch or something.
30-inch Switch.
30-inch. You get a 30-inch sub and a big Switch. Let's go.
Oh man.
Yo, guess what? Before we move on, guess what I found out?
What's that?
They have a 60-inch.
Oh God!
All right, well,
Is it actually a 60-inch, or did they just like give you 230s for like a reduced price?
No, like I looked it up on their catering thing, and they're like the 60-inch sub, and I was like,
Who in Uber Eats is going to fit that in their car?
Now. You have to buy it now, dude.
I see them pulling up.
They're going to bungee it to the roof?
it's not on
Gotta be like
DoorDash yet. They
Uber
got to put it on
Eats XL,
DoorDash. I mean, I could just run down there and buy it. It's not that hard.
you just walk home with a 60-inch 60-inch sub.
I did get a 30. I got a 30-incher this week. I actually switched it up. I got the ham.
I have to see you try to get that.
I want to see this entanglement with this 60-inch sub.
Is it all one? It's all one bun? Like it's all?
Yeah,
like
no, yeah, it's one thing.
Wow, that's impressive.
I didn't know they had a bread baking oven that big. Crazy.
They just have to run it through on like a treadmill real quick.
Keep it going. Keep it going.
That's impressive, Sean. All right. You need to get on that 60-inch sub and take a picture of it.
I will.
I want to see how they package it. If it's just one long box.
Yeah, I want to see a 3-part vlog about it. Come on.
Yeah, I just picture Sean. I just picture Sean eating that sub. Like, remember like Scooby Doo and Shaggy, how they would eat subs. Yeah. I just picture just like just like that. You know.
I mean, if you get it for like lunch, well, the 30-incher. If I get it for lunch, that's lunch, dinner. Really, it's like 2 lunches and 2 dinners.
Not breakfast?
I don't eat breakfast.
Oh, okay.
I don't have an appetite in the morning.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like, I mean, you get 4 meals out of it, and it comes down to like what, $5 a meal. It's delicious.
Evan, do we have another Discord question? I'll go over to the super chats next.
Which one of us is carrying the bucket in Crystal Chronicles?
I thought Max said
tough.
I have to do that.
Is that Jordan's job?
Max said he's gonna force me to carry the bucket.
Dude, that's gonna be really fun when that game comes out too. That's gonna be a really fun online game to play. That's at the end of August, I think, right? So the real question is, what system is everyone getting it on? Because we got to try out crossplay too.
Smartphone, baby.
Okay, so OJ's on the smartphone.
OJ's taking the bullet.
Look at that McLaren.
Sean's gonna probably grab it on the Switch.
Yeah.
Which I guess I can grab it on the PS4.
I'll grab it on the Xbox.
Okay, so we'll just try a bunch of different systems.
Who in chat? Whoa. Someone in chat's like, the girl carried the bucket, obviously. I'm not even playing that stupid game. Get off
You're not gonna
me.
play Crystal Chronicles?
No, I'd rather
Why
stub
not?
my toe.
What?
I agree, Click. Crystal Chronicles,
Yeah, trash game. That's why I'm carrying the bucket.
There's better games coming out this year.
In August, though?
Premonition 2.
Deadly Premonition.
Available
exactly,
now.
right?
Let's see the super chats here.
Wait, is it coming out in August? I thought it was delayed again.
No, I thought it was coming out the end of August. It was delayed to the end of August, wasn't it?
I don't know about that.
Puck says, thanks to all Spawncast, love the content. Does anyone else think CD Projekt Red unveiled next gen console release dates? Oh, because of what, Cyberpunk? I think one might come out that week, and then the other system comes out the week before. But we all pretty much figured it's in November for the systems.
New release date is August 27th for Final Fantasy.
Okay, I stand corrected.
I mean, there was that rumor for a while that Xbox was going to try to. Was coming back up online again. Xbox going to try to launch sooner than November, but people are now we're trying to figure out if they'd even be able to get their consoles out this year because of COVID and everything. So I'm sticking with November for the systems to launch.
Yeah.
Although I'd be pleasantly surprised if one of them came out in October. That'd be nice. Joe says, "Who else is going to pre-order Scott Pilgrim tomorrow?" I will. I'll go ahead and pre-order it tomorrow when
Did they actually announce it? Oh,
Yeah, right. Yeah, right.
Come on, Ubisoft, do the right thing, Ubisoft.
I'm gonna pre-order my channel and not.
I have
that event. That's what I'm.
I have a
Right,
good.
I know, right?
I have a good sneaking suspicion we'll see Far Cry 6 tomorrow.
Oh wow!
I'm not sure. Just a guess.
Just Dance 2021.
Yeah,
That's a really good guess.
I want to
Don't stream that part. Just mute your stream for that.
I'm
part.
pre-ordering on the Wii if it comes out. If it gets announced.
Don't stream that event. People have been asking me. Don't stream. I would be
soft.
Don't stream that event,
No.
guys.
They had their
Don't do
chance,
it.
man. Like,
Well,
if
you
they
can
don't
do
want,
it on Twitch.
if they don't want, if they don't want,
Don't stream.
I wouldn't even know about Twitch now with the new DMCA.
stuff.
Yeah, like I wouldn't
true.
even worry about that either. I mean, unless you absolutely don't care about your Twitch channel whatsoever.
Just mute the Just Dance part.
No, it's not Just Dance. It's more than Just Dance.
Yeah, it's more than just
Almost,
Dance.
yeah, almost
Well,
every
it's
song they use
Ubisoft
behind
Plus.
every single trailer seems to be.
they're going to show the next Watch Dogs game. I guarantee that will get.
Oh man, I
It's so
wish
weird,
they
too,
would, I
because
wish
it
they would
happened the-
cancel that one already.
It happened the one year, and everyone was like, "Oh, this is bad," and we figured they'd figure it out the next. Nope, same exact thing happened.
Yep.
So I'm not even touching it. Last year, I was like, I'm just not going to touch Ubisoft's event. Nope.
And that screwed us so bad, man, because it was like we missed the Nintendo Direct.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
I'll
It's
never forget that
horrible.
shit.
And the first time it happened, they had their event like 2 hours before Square's event. Oh man, that was the worst.
You know, with
Fooled
all
me
like
3 times,
you know,
shame
with
on
all
me.
these like strikes and everything, like with YouTube and then with now with Twitch, you know, like that's always been in their terms of service. The DMCA could happen, but no one really took care of it, and everything just got muted instead of like striked. You know, like we were talking about it earlier, like how is Ubisoft going to continue to have Just Dance if like their game can't even be streamable anymore? Because the Just Dance community
Yeah.
is really tight
That's
as
a
far
good
as like
point.
the streaming goes. Like that keeps that game alive.
They have to figure that out, honestly.
DMCA needs to be updated, dude. Like there
Yep.
needs to be like a new license. Like I mean, I could talk forever on this thing because it's like 1998.
Yeah.
You
They
really
didn't
wanna
account for the
update it?
internet and all that. Yeah.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
What's
Crazy.
the over under on Ubisoft's channel getting DMCA struck down by itself?
It might happen. It might.
Man, Ubisoft don't care. They be letting their employees run wild out here.
Themselves, man.
They don't care. They're just like, please buy our game.
To worry about than
Yeah, they be leaking their own games all the time.
Yeah,
That's true.
They honestly, they don't. They obviously don't care because it happened 2 years ago, and they didn't even like apologize, or so they don't care.
Ethan R says, I swear we were gonna have AAA nights at Treehouse.
It would have been better than Bakugan.
Okay, we'll get into that in a second. Quite says, will Sega ever announce their new Sonic game? We need Sonic Adventure 3, not more mini consoles.
wait,
Oh,
Sonic?
no, stop it!
Oh.
Stop the slander! Stop the slander!
Astro City, baby. Pre-order confirmed. I'm all about
Order
that, man.
confirmed, boys.
Hell yeah. Golden Axe 2.
It actually does look pretty good, and they still have another 26 games to show. So. It looks pretty good. That one.
Virtual
But the Game
racing.
Gear though, we can leave the Game Gear one behind, right?
Yeah, I'm not
Yeah.
buying that shit.
All right. James Walter says, thanks for everything you all do, and congrats MVG for the Shantae gig. Take care of my girl, you legend. All right.
I got it, man. I got it. Don't worry.
Brett says, does anyone else remember Wii Sports Club?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wii U?
I remember it.
Wasn't that Resort?
No.
There was
Resort on
Wii
the Wii.
Sports, then Wii Sports Resort, and then Wii Sports Club.
Club was on the Wii U. Wii Sports Resort was on the Wii. It was like the Wii Motion.
Now there's
Follow-up.
Clubhouse games.
Yeah. Follow up.
Okay.
Well, Clubhouse Games was on the DS.
Was
Well, now
Club
we have
good?
another one.
It was the same thing as Wii Sports. It was just like handled crappily, like the way that they like did like tickets. At first it was, then they ended up putting it together. But no, it was pretty much the same thing, just on the
Oh.
Wii U.
And then Ethan R says frame rate makes Deadly Premonition 2 better.
I hate Ethan R.
And then Stevie Richards says, "Oh my God, it's Sean Long."
It's reverse psychology there.
Yeah, when's that intro coming back, Sean?
Whenever Retromania drops.
Oh yeah, you have to bring it back for that.
Yeah, we're gonna. That video is gonna be ridiculous.
Video, just bring it back.
You know what my brother said? My brother texted me. He's like, I hate that RGT intro, and I was like, all right. And then like weeks later, like now at this point, he's like, when's RGT bringing back that intro? I'm like, yeah.
People hated it, and now that it's gone, you don't know what you got till it's gone. Is what.
Yeah.
I'm looking at my phone like, should I even respond? Like you just said, like you're just hating on the intro.
Nick says Saber Interactive versus Panic Button, which is the better port studio and why? Also, Jimmy Hopkins will be the main character in GTA 6. Just saying.
Panic Button.
I would say overall, it's close, but overall Panic Button. I think
Crisis. Yeah, if Crisis is good on the Switch, I think Saber then for right now, because then I have to see Doom Eternal from Panic Button.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
I think.
What about right now today in this moment?
Right this second, I would have to.
Right?
Right now, I'd have to give the Panic because they dealt with an MMORPG like Warframe.
And Rocket League, right?
That's a little more for the but they did. But Saber did
Witcher,
Ghostbusters.
Oh, that's true.
And it's like, man, but the MMORPG that I'm sure MG can say that brings in a whole bunch of issues that could show up. So.
Yeah, I think with Warframe, like that, people thought that was just going to be completely, utterly garbage on there. And I mean, it's not as good as a PC, of course, and on other systems, but it's still pretty good. I played it quite a bit, So.
But I mean, if Saber brings Crisis to the Switch and it's manageable and it's functional and it's not Deadly Premonition 2 like, then I don't know. They brought Crisis to the Switch. What can I say?
It's still Panic Button.
I mean, I gotta see Doom Eternal.
You have to look at what really Saber also made NBA Playgrounds.
Yeah, well, I mean,
that was actually their game with The Witcher and Crisis. They both have been co-developers of it. So with The Witcher, CD Projekt Red still lended assistance. With with Crisis, they had help from Crytek. So we have yet to really see them do their own thing. And when they have done their own games, they've been.
But Panic Button's working with
not directly. They're just getting assets.
Doom
software isn't helping them on Doom. They're not there working with them. CD Projekt Red was working with them on The Witcher 3 for Switch.
Oh, I thought there was an interview recently where they said that they were working with Panic Button to get it done.
So they have to lend assets and all that stuff to them, but they're not in office working side by side.
Well, yeah, they're definitely not in office now.
Well, right now it's Panic Button. I mean, you have to. Doom. You also have that.
What about Feral Interactive? I think you got to put Feral Interactive in that conversation as well.
They have what? They have one.
They did make the GameCube controller usable though on the Switch.
Grid, Alien Isolation.
They are the one studio that got around the lack of an analog button on the Switch for a driving game.
Hey, what about Virtuos?
They did
all the Final Fantasy games.
Yeah, you're only as good as your last game.
They did Outer Worlds, right?
Yeah, they did Outer Worlds.
They did.
Moving on. Let's see.
Damn.
Hey, what's that? That patch is coming, right?
They say it'll come out when the Deadly Premonition one comes out.
Oh, nice.
When the Bloodstained frame rate patch comes.
Yep, I'm still waiting on that shit.
Hey, that was way forward.
Ooh. Oh, wait a minute.
I wasn't gonna mention that, but I kept thinking that in the back of my mind.
No, I blame the actual team, like the Bloodstained team, for that, because they were sitting there talking about like, oh, the Switch version. They were showing off the Switch version and all that, and then goes to show us like, bro, y'all weren't working on the Switch version as much as you guys said that you were. You know what I'm saying? Even before WayForward got involved, they were making it seem as if, oh yeah, the Switch version is gonna be a high priority. No, it never was. So I blame them. Not WayForward as much.
Saul Garcia says, keep up the great work, guys. Devin says, are we talking about Devolver Digital Game Expo thing? Is this not what everyone should be doing right now? It was how many games did they announce today?
6. I streamed the whole thing. They announced it was more acting than it was actual
definitely
games.
more of a show than the game.
That was their goal. It was a marketing kind of stunt. You know, it was not a look at all these cool games that we have.
I mean, it was fun and all that. I don't know. They still put on a very entertaining show.
Yeah.
Without having like Halo or something Halo Infinite or something to show. You know, like they have a lot of fun with what they did there. So it was good to watch. I don't know. It was fun. Yeah. They released a free. What was it? What did they? A free game on
Devolverland
thing. I'll check that out just to see.
Yeah.
It's free. It's like all right,
it's free on Steam, but once again, it goes into like the really good marketing. They're completely self-aware, and they dropped like truth bombs throughout that whole presentation in terms of about how people react to these presentations and these shows and these games, and like they're making fun, but at the same time they're serious. And it was, like I said, it was really, really good marketing on there.
They took a shot at Konami. They were like, they went super far into the future, and they were like, yeah, Konami just announced 4 Metal Gear Solid games and then canceled 3 of them on the same stream. I was like, oh man,
my uncle works at Nintendo. That guy when he came out.
What he said? They said Pikmin Battle Royale in 2023, right?
You know what?
Battle Royale.
That sounds pretty fun. Wish it was real.
We'll remember that. We'll come back to the super chats and the Streamlabs after we get through the Nintendo Treehouse presentation. So they had Paper Mario, Origami King, and then they closed out with the Megaton. Sean, the Megaton. Bakugan.
What the hell was that, man?
Battle Brawlers.
Okay, so this was really funny, the build-up, because they were like, hey, we're going to show this new game from Way Forward, right? It's going to be a game we're going to showcase at the Treehouse after Paper Mario. And it was really funny because immediately people started bringing up everything, right? What was it? Metroid, even though it's been pointed out, Mercury Steam would probably do Metroid. But, you know, Metroid, Castlevania, that was one that people were saying.
Well, I mean, when you look at Way Forward, you know, Contra 4, Alien, what was the Alien game on the DS?
Silent Hill, Book of Memories.
Silent Hill, Book of Memories. Like, no, I mean, obviously, Way Forward is a very talented studio, so you would think it would be something like that, and then it was Bakugan.
Which the Bakugan game, like I was looking through Way Forward's, they've done a lot of licensed stuff before. So I mean, it was always a possibility, but I didn't think that Nintendo would put that possibility in. Like, and the bar was low. All they need is like, if it was like a cool 2D game, it didn't even need to be something crazy. You know, people just wanted some type of cool, like DuckTales maybe style of game or something like that would have been completely fine. It didn't have to be anything graphically impressive or anything, but it was a licensed game, like licensed Bakugan.
I mean, it kind of as soon as that happened and they started talking about having this Way Forward game and stuff, you know, because they know they were showing with Bakugan and they see those those replies on Twitter, they're like, oh.
And the thing of it is like, if that game would have been announced during a Nintendo Direct, or if it just came up out of nowhere and was announced, no one would have cared. It would have been like, oh, okay, that's cool. You know, I don't care about Bakugan, but good for the people. But when you hype it up like that and you're putting it next to what is literally the one game we know is coming for the Nintendo Switch this year, you have some sort of expectations that go along with that. And oh God.
Dude, the viewership dropped off a cliff. It was like, like 150,000 people watching up to that point, and then immediately like 100,000 people tuned out or something. It was crazy.
And I don't even necessarily think the game looks bad. It's obviously something I won't play because I don't know shit about Bakugan.
I think Bakugan fans will have fun with it.
I was trying to figure out like who plays Bakugan. Who knows? Like it looks like it's a cool game for the fans, but I have no idea what the hell is going on.
There was a moment when when it happened and Bakugan showed up, and I was like, "Am I just really old right now?" And I don't know what's happening on screen. And I looked online, and everyone was like, "What's this?" I was like, "Oh, good." Whew,
I kind of filled you in. Bakugan was a thing that was around maybe like 10, 12 years ago, and then it died out, and then it recently, the last couple of years, had this big resurgence and like remake of the show and the game and itself. And there's some other great people in the community who are like super into it, like Billiam, great content creator. He's like super into Bakugan. I know he was excited for it.
Yeah, he's a cool guy.
So there's definitely an audience for Bakugan, and for them to get like a full-fledged like new game, cool. I thought the presentation wasn't so great, but you know, it's just not.
Okay, so Bakugan closing it out. Sure. Okay, let's move back to Paper Mario, because while Bakugan was the RPG that was shown off at this event. We still should talk about Paper Mario a bit, okay? So we had Paper Mario the Origami King. They showed, what was that, like 20 minutes of gameplay?
Yeah, it went on a bit that long.
It was a strange thing anyway, because they were doing it over Zoom and there was an obvious, I'm gonna say like 3 or 4 second delay. So there are times where they were just completely disjointed and talking over each other, but for the most part, working through Zoom and weird circumstances, I think they did all right with the presentation itself. But what did you guys think about Paper Mario when it was shown? Because I will say, for me, I'm a little more down on the game than I was leading up to it.
I'm probably not going to pick it up.
No. Gosh, I'm gonna start by. I'm picking that up at Ghost at the same time. Physically.
Here's the one thing I don't get about Paper Mario fans. There was really 2 games that followed a similar style, and then all the other games didn't follow that style.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like at some point in time you need to realize, hey, probably not going to be that way. I thought, and the thing of it is, one of my favorite games was the Wii one. I thought that game was fucking phenomenal.
Super Paper Mario?
Yes.
Yeah.
So everything I've been seeing is cool with me. Like I get why some people are disappointed with it, because they wanted something specifically that it's not going to be. But at some point in time, you kind of got to move on. Like I don't think it's ever going to go back to that for better or worse. But
You're right. And you bring up the good point, is that the first 2 games of the Paper Mario franchise were these RPGs, and since then, Intelligent Systems and Nintendo has made a conscious decision to move away from that formula. But every time a new Paper Mario is announced, the fans continue to say, I want a 1,000-Year Door sequel.
Okay, so
but
here's
it's time to accept they're not going back to that formula. And
Hold on. My issue with this game is I agree with you guys. I think that's cool, but my problem with the game is how much it minimizes the attacks.
Yes.
And basically, that lineup phase thing, if you get it right the first time, you're going to win the encounter every freaking time. I mean, what would be really cool is if they actually added maybe another high difficulty level where you could actually have a little bit more control over that stuff. I mean, what they showed was fine, but, I'm not saying you should make it a real kind of complex RPG mechanic where the combat system is really, really deep, but make something a little more than what they have, because right now there's nothing.
That with Mario and Luigi, and people didn't buy the games. The Paper Mario games people wanted were the Mario and Luigi games, and they did not buy them.
So my issue with it is they created this really cool, I think pretty cool battle system, because it's I wouldn't have expected to do like little puzzles and stuff before it started, but then everyone that did previews, and even in the Treehouse itself, they were just avoiding battles because there's no reason to do them.
That's it. I mean, yeah, it just seems like you can just avoid them, when you need to.
They picked up so many coins just in the overworld itself when they were walking around. I'm like, and then you spend coins to increase the timer in the battle, but if you avoided the battle in the first place, you wouldn't have to spend your coins that you might use for accessories. So that's my problem, is they created this really, I think, pretty interesting creative battle system, but there's not a large pull for you to go through that battle system, especially in random encounters.
Yeah, I just wish they made just a touch more, they added just a little bit more to it than what they have.
I'll say this. Okay, everyone wants a 1,000-Year Door. I want an original Paper Mario, because they did not release a better Paper Mario.
Do you mean the Nintendo 64 version?
Yes, that is the best Paper Mario game. I'm going to say it right here, right now.
On 64?
Yes, that is the best one. I'm saying right here, right now. That is the best one. I will give it that. I will give it that. That is the best one. I think the one on the GameCube, 1,000-Year Door, was still good, but I think I recently had played the one on the 64, and I think that one is better. No, not Sticker Star.
What Color Splash?
No, not Color Splash.
Oh, so y'all be hating? Well, we getting cash.
But other than that, I mean, I think the game looks great. It's a beautiful look. I like the world that it's in. Everything looks really cool. I just wish they had a little bit more with the battle mechanic.
Yeah, I mean, the thing that really gets me is the world looks really good. Like, it looks fun, like, to explore. From what we're seeing in these previews. I still need to play the game, which, on Friday I'll pick it up. But like, what they have, everything else outside of just like this, the RPG elements in Paper Mario have never been great anyway. They're very basic. You like level up and then you pick one of 3 things to put your points into and you move along.
Can I talk about that? Because everyone talks about RPG. It's never been that amazing of an RPG.
It's very
like
basic.
As somebody who plays a lot of big RPGs, you know what I'm saying? Even when I was playing those games I do. I've never understood why people get so gung-ho about about the RPG in Paper Mario. It's never been that amazing of it. Now, I get fans love the experience, but it's never been hard. It's never been like, oh my gosh, I need to really level up so I can do these really cool RPG. It's all been super basic. It's been more basic than Super Mario RPG at times. Yes, it's like more basic than that game.
A simple way of looking at those early Paper Mario games, especially like Paper Mario 64 was, and this might sound harsh, it was child's first RPG.
Come on, let's be real. It was.
No, I'll agree, but the writing was really, really good. And the
writing has been good in all these Paper Mario games. Color Splash has fantastic writing. People can critique the gameplay all they want, but the writing in Color Splash is superb.
There was definitely writing in it.
I mean, isn't it gonna be rated E for everyone?
Most Mario games are rated that low. I mean, like I said, I don't have a problem with the RPG. Like the RPG mechanics in the game were fine. I played those day one back when they came out. Like I thought they were cool, but I just never, I was like at the same time it was coming out like around Xenosaga, and it was coming out around the time of like Skies of Arcadia and like other games. So like when I was playing, I was like, these RPG mechanics aren't like amazing. It was still cool, but it wasn't anything that I was like, oh my gosh, like I need to have this. And like Mario and Luigi, like Nate was talking about that. Like I played Mario and Luigi. That game is really, the Mario and Luigi games have really like innovative type of mechanics kind of built into it. I always like kind of enjoyed what they did in those games a little bit more. But like people can be upset if they want to be upset about it, not get it. I'm gonna check it out. I've never been huge on Paper Mario. I'll check it out. I think it looks like the world looks cool.
I like the pencils boss battle.
That was good. See, I like the creativity's there though. That's what gets me.
I want to see those pencils in Smash. Pencils for Smash.
It's what, pencils, tape, and stapler? Like what was the other boss?
It's all like desk items and office items are the boss battles.
But it's so like some of it's so clever, right? Because they take you instead of you being the one that's rotating and stuff. All of a sudden, you're running around the boss. Like they have a lot of creativity. They're just like they're this close to having like the Paper Mario game. But you know what the Paper Mario game is now? It's Bug Fables.
Bug Fables, yeah.
Yes, that is the Paper Mario game. And you know what? Then this Paper Mario game coming out, if it is that good, should be able to, I'd say, get a higher rating than Bug Fables.
Kind of apples and oranges.
I'm definitely going to be playing.
Bug Fables is Paper Mario. Like,
I mean, well, there's other aspects to it, like for example, like like the open world, like you're talking about. It's in a Paper Mario's an adventure game now, so there's other things that it's doing. That it's doing. It's not just doing like everyone's just focusing on the RPG. They're obviously not doing that anymore. They haven't been doing it.
I just have to see. Come the 17th, I definitely will be playing Ghost of Tsushima. So
I will say I'm leaning more towards Ghost on Friday as well at this point. So I mean I'll play both of them before the podcast, but I'm like probably jumping into
I will
Ghost
definitely
first.
play Ghost.
Yeah. But we'll see. Maybe there is something that's pulling you ahead with getting coins, but so far from the previews I've read, people are just avoiding the very creative battle system that's been set up, which is kind of a shame. Is everyone else picking up Paper Mario? Nate, are you picking up Paper Mario?
Not at launch.
Oh my gosh.
Gotta wait for that sale.
So I'm not gonna get it.
Hold on. Did you buy Deadly Premonition too?
Yeah, but
my!
It was cheaper.
It was $50.
Yeah, $10 less.
You go to Walmart and Paper Mario is going to be $51.
Yeah, but then you gotta go to Walmart.
Get Deadly Premonition and got it for $39.
Yeah, but where did you get Deadly Premonition from?
Oh, look at that.
Where'd you get Deadly Premonition from, though?
BestBuy.com.
Did you spend $50?
No, I had a gift card.
Oh, okay. You could have saved that gift card for Paper Mario.
No, I wanted Deadly Premonition.
Oh no.
You did want Deadly Premonition. You can't stop what the guy wants.
All right. Evan, we got a Discord question over there.
Oh yeah, let's go with take a guess on when we see the next Metal Gear and what type of game will it be.
2043. It'll be a strategy RPG.
I don't think you'll ever see another Metal Gear. Hot take.
Pachinko, baby. Pachinko, Metal Gear.
Yeah,
Pinball.
We'll see all kinds of.
Metal Gear Solid Pinball. Let's go.
Ooh, now you got me interested.
Actually, you know what? If it's a Metal Gear Solid Pinball, I'd be like, man, Konami might have something here.
Dude, Metroid Prime Pinball's good. I'm down.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
You know what? I would give Konami a chance on that. Yeah.
And there's also Pokemon Pinball, Jordan. You know about that? That's
I know
great.
about all the Pokemon.
Snake
pinball.
goes in for a tuck and roll, and then it just becomes.
You know
Yeah.
what? That is because there's no way they can mess up the lore with a pinball game.
Oh, they'll find a way.
that you think that you're aware of.
Yeah. At the end of the game, some crazy
Yeah,
twist.
I don't. A Metal Gear game would be hype for exactly 5 seconds before we realized that Konami would somehow be making this by themselves.
I only want a Metal Gear to redo a classic or something.
You got to remaster 4. You got to put it on all the platforms.
I'm actually playing through 4 again right now for the first time in like a decade and having so much fucking.
It's good,
fun.
right? Oh yeah. Yep.
Well, I used to be a huge Metal Gear fan, anyways.
Metal Gear Solid 4 is really good. It's super good. The ending is amazing. I absolutely love the story. The wrap up, the ending was really good.
And the only one I've ever beaten is Rising Revengeance.
What?
Solid playthrough.
I don't know if is that a Metal Gear game?
It's
In
fantastic.
name.
You didn't play the first one at all, Jordan? Oh man.
Who I look like? Someone has time for that?
It's not a long game.
Okay, it really is. Let's go. Let's go over to David Hudson saying best of luck with the rebranding, Jordan. Love the Pokemon content, but excited to see what comes next from you.
Thank you. I'll talk about it more next week because I'll have 2 episodes out by the next.
Spoilers.
Podcast, but
It's Bakugan.
it's Bakugan content or a full Bakugan. I'm kidding. But if you like 90s and early 2000s cartoons and TV shows, then you should like what I have coming.
Okay.
Codename Kids Next Door, right?
Didn't Bakugan
Eventually,
have
but not
a
right away?
Didn't Bakugan have a 2000s television show?
It did. So maybe when the launch of the game comes out, I'll do a coincide. Like, hey, remember old Bakugan?
Oh man. The Waltman says, so if the Microsoft WB Games buyout is true, would we get a Mortal Kombat versus Killer Instinct crossover?
No, because it'd be too much fun and make too much.
Too much fun and make too much
I'm
money.
going against the grain.
Which mechanic would they put in it? Would they put in the Ultra Combos type thing from Killer Instinct, or would they stick with the Mortal Kombat?
I think it'd be better if they just took a Mortal Kombat character and put him in Killer Instinct as a guest character.
And vice versa.
Yeah. Yeah. That'd be interesting. I wonder if that. We haven't heard anything else about WB Games. We heard that Tencent took that one company that Sony was looking at.
I think that if Microsoft did get Warner Brothers with NetherRealm, like they still don't have a developer for. Who's the developer? I know they had one for Killer Instinct, then they got bought up by like Amazon or something. The original developers of Killer Instinct, the reboot, and then I forgot who worked.
It was
on
Double Helix, was it?
Yeah, Double Helix, and then I forgot who works on it now.
Iron Galaxy.
Yes, there you go, Iron Galaxy.
So strange because they're jumping between. That's the biggest problem though, is that I don't know if they have someone like on deck that's like, oh, we got Killer Instinct on lock, you know.
Exactly. We don't know who's actually gonna make it Killer Instinct, you know. Like, so that's why I think they haven't really talked about it. I don't know if Killer Instinct's coming back anytime soon. I think they might just, make the game on the Xbox One, just put it on the Xbox Series X or something. I don't know.
Doughboy says, I hope you can get Arlo next week for Paper Mario. I'm gonna give Arlo a chance to play through it, and then we'll get Arlo on at some point for that.
How would that work?
I don't know. He'll come on. He'll talk about Paper Mario. Let us know. I'll be curious to see his opinion on that one. Dylan says Catherine full body on Switch is a great port. Looks good, runs great, comes on 16 GB cartridge. Hopefully more Switch support from Atlas. Cough Persona cough.
I'm getting Atlas is actually sending me a physical copy.
Are we supposed to be saying that out loud, Sean? Yet? Are we allowed?
Game's out.
I don't know if there's embargo for that. Okay, yeah. So apparently
the game's out.
But no, I see why John's saying that, because they were being nuts with like some of the restrictions and all that, like streaming. Like they're being crazy about it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
They didn't send me. All they did was send me an email. They were like, "Would you like to check out Catherine? We'll send you a physical copy." I was like, "Sure. Here's my address. Thank you."
Yeah, they sent me the same email. So
I mean, I got that, but they gave me a digital copy too. But they're like, "Hey, you can't talk about this. You can't go past."
Yeah, they asked if I wanted a digital copy for like streaming and shit, and I was like, "Nah, don't worry about it. Just send me a physical."
So I but whatever.
Fish fan says RGT quarantine meat of the week. Also, how many of them 30-inch subs did you get this week? Love watching you.
Yeah, did you start?
Thanks to the great content.
I did get a 30-incher. I got a ham 30-incher. I wanted to try their ham. It was very good, actually.
What are we at inches? How many inches have you eaten consecutively of these sandwiches?
Well, it was a 30-incher.
Well, in general, like you're supposed to add them all up together too.
Oh, well,
How many feet we at?
Yeah,
I've had
how many inches are we at?
3 or 4.
Okay, and then you're going to go for a 60, so you're going to go a double in one. That's going to be a big one.
Yeah, that's gonna be a lot. I don't know. How long will that last? How long will that last? Like it's gotta last me a couple days in the fridge. I don't know. It should be.
Well, yeah,
right.
you can eat it in 2 days. You know,
I put like tinfoil.
Yeah, you can put it in the oven, reheat a little bit. You're good to go.
Oh no, they're cold. It's cold cuts, man. Cold
Yeah,
cuts.
but you can have a little heat in there. Why not? Good little
I also got some Chinese this week too.
Ooh. Like what?
chicken and broccoli and boneless spare ribs.
Was it good?
Oh gosh.
Yeah, it was pretty good. The chicken was a little skinny. I might order from a different. It was like little, like the sizes were okay, but like it wasn't very thick chicken.
Yeah, you can't.
What's a
you have
good
to have
thickness of chicken?
A good thickness of
What
chicken.
width and diameter is your
I
chicken?
mean, this was like this, which I think is too small. I would like to see it like this.
Yeah.
Like something a bit, you know, when you bite it, you know, there's a good little thing to it. I don't know what the fuck you call it.
Is that how you bite? Like,
Buoyancy?
just like, the gators? Yeah.
Let's go over here to Streamlabs real quick. It says Wishbone says if Test Drive Unlimited is coming back, do you think Test Drive Off-Road series will make a return?
Sure.
That could just be part of it. Like honestly, they might just throw everything together. I don't think they're looking to make multiple Test Drive games right now. They're just trying to get one out and done.
Test Drive Unlimited 3.
Cedric says I love a good spicy crispy chicken sandwich with a side of onion rings and a large Sprite. On a warm sunny day, don't forget the zesty sauce to dip them rings. Hyde says, shout out all the Spawncast, backtracking some games I didn't get to that have sequels coming out next gen to get caught up. Cedric says Hop may not be the best rival in the Pokemon franchise, but he sure is optimistic throughout all the poop slung on him in the game. Hop isn't the best boy, but he sure is a chummy pal. What do you think about that, Nate?
Hop sucks.
Definitive. Solid.
Can Hop get some love for once?
No. Every time I try to go back to the game, he's there.
He
I'm
just
like, I walk into the store to buy a potion. He's outside the store like, hey, rival, want to fight me again after kicking my ass 24 times in the last 25 minutes?
The
I'm
funniest
like,
thing
no,
is-
Hop, I don't.
The funniest thing about Hop is you always beat him because he's not that good, but somehow he's right there in the tournaments with you, always winning every gym. And I'm like, how are you winning this good, but you cannot battle at all? You always win.
Maybe they just let him through because they feel bad for him.
Yeah, they're like,
The best part of the game,
you know who? We gotta let him in.
Yeah, the best part of the game was when what's the other jackass trainer? What's that person's name?
Jackass.
Beady. There's a
Yeah, you're leaving one of the cities. He's like, Hop is like boasting. He's like, I can kick your ass. He's like, really? Let's go right now. He's like, just because your brother's champion doesn't mean. He's like, you're still a bitch. And then they just walk off. And then he shows up. He's like, yeah, I just beat the shit out of your friend. I'm like, okay.
Beat kept it real the whole time.
Beat the shit out of your friend. He's not my friend. What are you talking about?
I'm like, I'm just gonna go to the next town because I don't really care what happened to Hop.
Cassie says, cheers for Shantae on Switch MVG. That news legit made my week, brought a big smile to my face.
Thank you very much.
Mac Mega says, what are the chances MVG can help bring Metal Gear Solid from the Game Boy Color to modern consoles?
Please, Jesus Christ, make that happen.
$20.
You need to get. I think you need to get a lot of
Look at
people
his
involved
face.
for that to happen.
Well, I mean, let's be real though. That was a limited run games announcement. It was the Castlevania collection getting a physical release. So obviously, limited run is working with Konami.
There were some. You know what's weird is there were some big announcements they had to pull at the last minute.
Yeah.
Maybe
Well,
Konami.
Sean, I mean, Sean, you're pretty close with the guys there. Why don't you reach out?
Sean.
I mean, I'm sure they're well aware. Because
I'm sure they are too.
They're
smart dudes, right?
And they're doing Game Boy Color.
Where's my Panzer Dragoon?
You know that would be interesting. I did not get to play that Metal Gear Solid on the Game Boy Color.
Where's-
I did
Oh,
play
you
it.
did it, dude. It's so good.
I think it's hard
it's
to
a
find
great
it.
game.
It's pretty pricey. Not as pricey as Shantae, but it's definitely shot up in price over the years.
When's my physical Panzer coming?
I don't know. I'm waiting on mine too. I got this stupid collector's edition.
Me too.
Matt Golden says, "Hey Jordan, you should play Skater XL."
Oh my god, that's just your alt account, right?
No, that's
maybe. All right, maybe I'll stream it on Twitch.
There you go. See, all right. And then Salve says, "Okay, hear me out. Ubisoft develops an Assassin's Creed style game set in Hyrule where you control Sheik, aka Zelda."
No,
Hard pass.
That's
wow,
just terrible.
Love the optimism on this podcast.
I would take a look at it.
I mean, it depends on like what's
Sheik sounds way more interesting to play as.
Is it a straight up like action game, or is it because like that's how like it would have to be something like that because Sheik's, is it like a stealth game? Because
also, will there be a digital deluxe version that comes with the experience booster? These are serious questions, right?
Probably.
Nintendo actually talked about that a number of years ago about potentially there being like a game starring Sheik. Sheik's my favorite Nintendo character, so.
I mean, we also saw concept art for one that got canceled.
Yes, I remember that.
Yes,
yeah.
You saw a leak of Sheik? That's
a Sheik leak. Yes.
Then Brian says Atlas should port Shin Megami Tensei 3 and 4 to Switch before P5.
Oh, should they?
Asking Atlas to port things quickly. That's funny. That's great.
Anthony says, "Thanks all for inspiring me to upload. I'm a month in and love the grind. Double thanks to OJ who put my YouTube comment on Twitter a couple of weeks ago. He gave me a 20 view boost and I went up a sub."
No problem, man. I'm glad that you're getting inspiration to create content. It's not easy. Like starting out, because like you see so many people doing stuff, right? And it's like, man, they have all this, that, and that. So starting out in today's day, it's like it's really difficult and it can be scary. So I'm like, congrats on that, man. Just keep trying.
Everyone should take a shot. Take a shot at YouTube. Everyone should try.
Here's a tip: don't open Pokemon cards.
I
already
Pokemon
did. Now
card.
what happens now? I did it.
Just don't put it on camera and make it a whole channel based.
Oh, okay, good.
What, Jordan? What are you talking about?
I'll talk about it. I've talked. You know what?
I'm gonna make a fifth channel. It's gonna be a Pokemon card channel, Jordan, just because you said that. Watch.
A fifth channel, eh?
And I'm gonna call it "Old Man Attempts to Pronounce New Pokemon Names" as he opens up.
Well, of course that will go viral because you'll be like, what is that?
Eviv. What's an Eviv? Oh, there's two E's. An Eviv.
What's an Eviv? It evolves into a Umbreons?
Yeah, those names, that's the biggest problem with Pokemon is the names. Right? Just probably can't pronounce nothing.
And then Dylan says, also Persona 4 Golden with 500K sold on PC. Turns out it actually sold on PC. Wow. Who'd have thought?
Who would have thought?
Wow.
I love the comments.
Moves games around, and wow, it's almost like if it was also went over to the Switch, that I don't know, that might sell some.
I love the comments though on some of the sites. Some of the comments are great. I don't know if 500,000 units is good or not. yeah, it's just like what, a 13-year-old game. That's definitely not good. Definitely not good.
Oh man. Let's go over to the Xbox July showcase because there is they finally made the announcement, and what's hilarious is the PlayStation 5 box art got tweeted out by Sony, and that got more likes and retweets on Twitter than the entire Xbox July showcase. But we do have it. It's they announced it a little earlier than I thought they would, but it's happening July 23rd. Now, you may remember that I said it was going to happen on July 23rd during one of the podcasts, and that was definitely a guess. There's just no inside knowledge there. It was all guesswork, right, Nate?
Sure.
Yes, all guesswork. Okay, good. So July 23rd, we can look forward to it. As far as we know, the big thing now is that there will be Halo Infinite campaign gameplay there. People are a little uneasy, or not happy, I guess, about there not being multiplayer, but I don't really know how you would show off multiplayer in that setting rather than just show off campaign first. Like, when you want to see campaign before multiplayer, just to make sure everything looks pretty.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure that Halo's multiplayer is going to be like Halo's multiplayer, or else there'd be a huge backlash.
I want to see campaign.
Sure, I want to see campaign. Campaign is really important. As long as it's saying, hey, Master Chief is who you play as the whole game, and that's what the story's based on, that's fine with me.
I want to see scripted sequences. I want to see cool graphics. I want to see who you're going to be playing as and what type of story we're going to be thrown into. I want to see all that stuff.
They have to create the setting before we get to like the multiplayer is going to be based on the campaign, obviously. So we have to know we don't even know where we are in Halo Infinite right now, like what's going on necessarily.
Well, we have a somewhat of an idea.
Probably.
Some of the enemies are from Halo Wars 2, which
we know that, yeah.
So
with the banished, but like there's like we need to know about different characters on either side, I guess, whether they're allies to Master Chief and all this, because they will probably work their way into multiplayer as well. So I think you got to show off where we are in the story, who's going to be participating, all this. Then we go to multiplayer. Multiplayer can be its own stream, like it can be its own direct inside Xbox, whatever. Yeah, like they gotta show off the game in its best light.
You know what would be cool for multiplayer? If they actually got like, you know, popular YouTubers like Spawn Wave and other people to show off the multiplayer like beforehand. Yeah.
Yeah, what are you hinting at?
That would be really cool.
I would do it. Microsoft.
Well, I thought Ninja had that all taken care of.
That was in his contract, right?
Down.
Like, what's happening?
Wait, did he have it all taken care of until
Well, I thought
Facebook gaming got into an entanglement? Is that what you're trying to say?
I really thought that one of his things was going to be he's going to do Halo Infinite.
Oh, 100%.
Because he used to play Halo a lot, and now it's like there's no more Mixer, so I guess he'll be playing it on YouTube or Twitch or wherever he goes.
Brian.
At this point, I think Ninja just wants to say, like, man, I'm done. I'm just gonna go chill, bro.
Retire.
He has enough money.
That's what I was. I'm like, just stream whatever the hell you. Don't take it. Just
money
stream whatever the hell you want.
But Sean, there's more bags to secure.
Yeah, I would stream like 1 or 2 days a week. Just stream with popular people and just chill,
get that
man.
Manscaped money.
He's already got a lot. But then again, I'm not him, so he can do whatever he wants.
So the Xbox showcase July 23rd. I assume we're going to see some other first-party studios there. Apparently, the Initiative won't be there, is what the word is now, which is kind of a shame because I wanted to see what they were working on because apparently it's Perfect Dark.
We'll see it this year. It just won't be in July.
Okay, so they're going to hold that off for.
I don't even think it's Perfect Dark.
Oh,
it's a Perfect Dark-ish style of game, but I don't think it's Perfect Dark.
You think? Well, you think?
And I say that because Nate and Jeff Grubb and Rand on Nate's show last week talked about this. Perfect Dark is a 15-year-old game that no one even remembers.
Whoa!
Perfect Dark Zero was not a very good game.
I said that, and everyone wanted to crucify me.
I agreed with you, and I agree with you now. I just don't think it's a perfect.
I remember Perfect Dark.
I think it's a similar game. It may have Joanna Dark in this new game, but I think this is going to be a new take on.
Call it something different.
The caveat here is it going to be called Perfect Dark, or is it going to be the same character, same universe, same concept, and it's just not going to be branded with that IP?
Joanna Dark.
It can be Joanna. It can be anything else. But I mean, I guess for the sake of discussion, it's still going to be known as Perfect Dark.
Yeah, that's probably
what's going to be known as.
Yeah, we'd call it like Perfect Dark, 3 or whatever.
Yeah.
Just call it Perfect Dark. Just Perfect Dark. Like a reboot, like Tomb Raider.
Or like God of War.
Yeah, God of War. Just do that.
So we're mostly talking about the title, trying to figure out the title. Like we have an idea that it would probably be Joanna Dark as like the main character. We're trying to figure out what's that?
It could be her father. He was supposed to be a legend.
I ain't trying to play as her father. I'm not trying to play as that dude. I want to play as Joanna Dark.
I do kind of want to play as iconic Joanna Dark from the N64.
Look at that.
Not a terrible game like the 361.
I forgot to show you my new addition to my family.
You got an axe?
It's not just any axe.
Does it come back to you if you throw it?
Does it come back to you if you throw it?
Which is really weird.
I don't know. We'll find out. When.
All right, let's try it. Do it right now. Throw it.
No, I'll throw it at you when I meet you.
Oh, that's
we'll hang out.
What the hell?
Come on, Nate. Don't tell me you haven't thought about doing that.
No, I never thought about throwing an axe at French.
All I've ever done wrong on the internet was open Pokemon cards. Okay, I'm sorry.
So the idea here is that they're going to save some of their bigger games going forward. Like they're not going to have every single thing at this event, right? So do you think if that's the case, do you think they have Fable as their closeout, or do you think they have Halo as closeout?
No, I think Halo opens and Fable closes.
I like the idea of Halo opening, to be honest, especially if it opens and then it comes in and it says everything you're about to see is in like actual gameplay, like it's being played, and then it's just Halo, and it's like, well, okay, that's a good way to start things. And then they hit us with, well, okay, here's the thing I'm wondering with this: if Halo is supposed to be coming out alongside of the Series X, can they tell us the release date for Halo without telling us that they can't tell us the release date for Halo? Then if they don't have the Series X ready to go,
they don't have to. All they have to do say is launching later this year. That's enough.
Okay.
They don't need to slap on a specific date.
Okay, so then we
alluded to that it's Thanksgiving around that time. So
I think it's gonna be second or third week in November. Yeah,
that's a very astute guess.
Yes. So no pricing. We probably won't even see the console, to be honest.
No,
there's no reason to.
I've already seen it.
Yeah.
But I want to see it again.
Unless they have a special edition one for Halo.
Yeah, they can wait until they actually give a release date and price.
We hear Lockhart won't be till August, so we won't see that here either. It is just gonna be games, right? Third-party games too, though. Apparently, I wondered if they would get another studio, like another Japanese studio, to showcase something here. They might. Okay, yeah.
Little AAA nights.
No, they want good games at this showcase.
Whoa! Nights is a masterpiece.
Yeah,
and I've actually
Premonition too there.
Side note: so my PlayStation 3 that I'm playing Metal Gear Solid 4 on, I actually bought it from Gilly the Kid because it's not my original PS3. I bought it many years ago off of him because it was a fully backwards compatible. And I decided to look at what games were on it when I booted up to play Metal Gear Solid 4, and there's one game on there that was Nights, and I was like. So I went back down the Knights rabbit hole, and then I bought a bunch of Knights collectibles off of eBay.
One thing leads to another.
One game that I want to ask you guys: do you think we'll see Ninja Theory and more of Hellblade 2?
This is a good question.
Because I struggle with this one a little bit.
Yes.
You think we will?
We
Nate does.
Yes.
Okay, because that's not coming out for a little while, right? Like that's like a late 2021 game, maybe.
But it's still a prime game to you can showcase the technical
and
the SSD of the Xbox Series X, all the advantages that this hardware can bring. That's a good showcase example.
I agree with everything you said, but the only part that I struggle with is the fact that they came out recently and said they're basically going to retarget the game to Unreal Engine 5. So what are they going to be showing us? Are they going to show us an Unreal Engine 4 version of the game, or are they going to show us Unreal Engine 5, which clearly they haven't even begun that work yet. So what are they going to show us? And that's the part that I struggle with, I guess.
They could show us a cut that they already had using the Unreal Engine 4, how far they've got. I mean, they can just cut a trailer with some in-game segments similar to what we saw with Horizon 2. And then when they do fully transition it to Unreal Engine 5, expecting it to be next year, because Hellblade 2 probably isn't coming out until 2022. When we do see it using Unreal Engine 5, we can see those visual upgrades and how much it's utilizing the new engine, and that can play in Microsoft's benefit. I'm saying, look at this upgrade of what we started, what we ended at.
Oh, right, Andrew, there we go. So let me ask you, well, how about this? We keep hearing that Sony's going to do Silent Hill with Konami.
No, they're not.
Potentially.
No.
Okay, yeah. So we kept hearing about that online, right? And the idea there was that they were getting a third-party IP and bringing it in exclusive. You think Microsoft will do something like that at this event? Like go out, get a third-party IP and bring it in exclusive to Xbox and PC?
License a third party?
Yeah. And I think it'd be cool if they did it with a Japanese developer, because they keep talking about it.
Are you sure we want that?
I mean, they did it with Phantasy Star Online too, and it's pretty cool. That's like,
but they also did it with Lost Odyssey, and they did it with Blue Dragon, and now those games are stuck in that ecosystem of hell.
Lost Odyssey is backwards compatible, though.
That's true. You're right about that. But now, but now I don't know if there's any possible chance of us ever getting more Lost Odyssey or Blue Dragon. Like it did so bad, they actually went outside of what they normally do with Blue Dragon and put that on the DS. And even in
situation with it, but it would also come out on PC now.
Yeah, that's fine. That's good.
Hit both.
It's tough only because Microsoft is going to have to write a huge check to a third-party developer to get that type of access. Only because they don't really have that strong of a relation to the Japanese companies, and Sony's coming off a very strong performance with the PS4, where they have worldwide appeal. And Microsoft has to do a lot of convincing to go to a company, like we'll use Konami as the example of saying, we want to license Castlevania from you. How do we make that happen? and they're going to sit there and say, we want a big fat check.
You think a timed exclusive would be better than like a year-long exclusivity deal?
Yeah, I think the money would be better spent. Do a timed exclusive if you have to, or you make a deal for Game Pass. Say, we want your game on Game Pass day one. You're going to get a lot of downloads. We're going to have a base on our system. If you have a multiplayer component, they're going to be there. Your game's going to have microtransactions. You're going to make money on our platform. What better, what better can we do for you?
I mean, there's a lot of companies they go to, Capcom, Sega.
I don't see the benefit of doing like a time, like, because they did that so much on the Xbox 360, and like, how much did it benefit them? I mean, they did that a lot with games that you wouldn't even think of. Eternal Sonata, like, what the hell? You know what I'm saying? Like Star Ocean 4, like they did that with so many games.
And they had Tales of Vesperia.
Yeah, Tales of Vesperia. Like,
but I think a lot of it helped the 360 early on at the gate. The problem is they didn't have studios to build first party IPs as they got towards the end of the 360 era and they moved into the Xbox One. So if they used some timed exclusives just to get people on board, and then they had some of their newly acquired studios kind of carry them the rest of the way, just to kind of fill out that early library. That wouldn't be a bad strategy. And hey, if it's not exclusive, then it will leave that Xbox ecosystem eventually.
That's kind of where I think they're better off leaning into Game Pass, because they want you to subscribe into that ecosystem. And that's a way to do it. It doesn't need to be timed exclusive. If you can still get that idea of, I can get 3 months of Game Pass, or I can get the year for this price. I don't have to buy that game. Even if you have PC, if the game's going to be on the Game Pass service there, that's okay too. That benefits Microsoft even there. So it's kind of like, I don't even have to buy their hardware to potentially get the benefits of having this game. And
it's going to go to PC, right? Like, so like Evan is like, we're talking about Series X. Evan's like, oh, I'll just buy it on PC. And it's like, Microsoft doesn't care because they're getting the money either way. So like, yeah, whatever. Like I'm curious if Evan looked at Horizon Zero Dawn at all on PC when that went up. Are you looking at that?
Looking at it, but I'm probably
Okay. I think it's gonna be. How long do you think the event's gonna be? We can finish up with that.
1 hour,
45 minutes.
Okay. I'm thinking at least an hour as well. And then there'll probably be that thing where they do like an after show where they talk with developers, maybe.
Yeah, they'll have Major Nelson on after the show or something.
And let me ask this. All right, ready? Here we go. Will there be a Banjo-Kazooie game there?
No.
Sorry.
No, I'm gonna like they're working.
I'm gonna say yes.
What about Everwild? Will we see more of Everwild at the show?
I want to see Everwild.
Yes.
Yeah, I think Everwild.
Yeah, I would say so too.
And maybe like the next Sea of Thieves thing, maybe like expansion or something extra to Sea of Thieves.
Maybe.
Yeah, I could see Everwild, Sea of Thieves getting an Xbox Series X version at least announced, or intentions of making a port. But it's really tough to predict what Microsoft will have here because their first-party studios are so scattered. They have a lot of new studios. Like Obsidian would have their new RPG at this event.
I really wanted to push for Banjo, but I thought about it. I have no idea who would make Banjo-Kazooie for Microsoft. So
yeah, that's kind of the issue.
I have no idea who would make it unless they went and got a third party to make it for. I don't know.
Nintendo.
Nintendo's making Banjo-Kazooie for us.
Nintendo EAD. Mario Team.
Oh man. That would have been that would have been very funny to see them crack a deal with Nintendo and make it happen, but yeah, it's not.
So Phil's confident about this show. He's confident, and I know he has to say those things before the event. But what do you guys think? I mean, because I feel like there is one announcement that none of us know about. There's no rumors about that they're going to drop, and I'm not saying it's going to blow people's minds, but it's going to be definitely something out of left field.
I think they got a Phantasy Star 2 online 2 announcement, like where everyone just goes into it, no one says it, and it's just like,
go on, Nate.
I think it's what we touched on in our video MVG with Grub and Rand. I think it's the Xbox Live Gold drop. I think it's them removing the need for Xbox Live Gold. That's a huge announcement.
Really? You think?
Wait a minute. Free online play?
Multiplayer would no longer be tied to Xbox Live Gold.
That would be. I don't know if they make so much money, but that would be massive. If they did that, that would be
ridiculous.
That would be seriously. That would be so big. People would. What's the point? Like you can play all your multiplayer games for free on. Dude, that would be.
You think they would release that service when people are already paying for it?
Yeah, I don't know.
Because
what if they tied it all in one with just Game Pass?
They're going to shift to Game Pass.
Yeah.
They want the money through Game Pass, and if they're making more money through that, what's more pro-consumer than making online free again?
So they would go from walling off free to play games now to just making it all free.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a move nobody can counter. I mean, what's Nintendo going to walk back their $20 a year and be like,
They really should.
We don't want to charge you now either.
At this point,
it's a smart play for sure.
I mean, I'd be cool with it, but I'm like, I don't know. It seems weird because they're going in the direction of subscription services to then just get rid of one of their most successful subscription service when they're trying to continue buying studios and make Microsoft and Xbox continue to be relevant.
I mean,
they have unlimited.
would you be surprised? They literally spent millions of dollars to invest in a streaming service, and then
That was a waste of money because they could have made 3 Banjo-Kazooie games with the amount of money they paid Ninja. But
You're still mad about that, huh?
I am.
See, I think the big game reveal is they're gonna do Digimon to counter Bakugan.
Oh gosh.
The thing is, Digimon's already repopular right now.
you know what big
coming out.
surprise I think's gonna be there?
What?
Gameplay.
Okay.
What about
We haven't seen any of
Super
that
Lucky's
this time.
Tale 2?
Oh.
Ooh,
Hey,
actually,
I wasn't kidding.
actually, maybe.
Do we see Battletoads?
Oh Mike, I hope not.
I really hope.
No, they're gonna show Battletoads and it's actually gonna look good. That it's actually gonna look somewhat decent.
That
They
I
redid
agree
it.
with OJ. It will look decent.
game
It
needs
will
help.
look better than what we saw.
Yes.
Now,
better
did you
than
just
what-
read that as descent in quality or decent in quality? Which way did you read that?
I'm reading it as
Hey,
like
Better than shitty.
Battletoads is an overrated franchise.
what? I don't.
Yeah,
Battletoads is an overrated franchise.
Battletoads is an overrated franchise.
I mean, if you said that
I
like
can get
20 years
behind
ago,
that.
maybe there might be some. But it's like the franchise isn't Battletoads isn't anything in general.
I'm talking about the old games though. I don't think the old games are all that great.
They're not bad.
Battletoads Double
They're
Dragon.
not bad, but
That game's good. Battletoads Double Dragon.
Yeah, the game's good. The games are good.
What? Really?
You just play Battletoads in the arcade. That's good too.
Let's go over.
You, Sean. Shame on you.
I'm excited for the event, July 23rd. I think it's gonna be a good time. I think almost everyone's gonna be streaming it, and here's hoping Microsoft shows up with some good stuff.
Hopefully.
Halo Infinite
they better.
gameplay, please. Okay, they bring that, I'm fine. So
Microsoft is going to have a good show.
Nate seems confident in this.
Didn't we say that last time though?
They're going to have a good show.
We did. Yes.
we got the snake oil salesman.
You know what?
How the sales of Speed Sniper
Hey,
doing?
he shows up with a good show, Sean.
Yeah, but he hates the fact that you have to buy a PS5 to play PS5 games. It's so bizarre to me. I think Phil Spencer tries to be, and this is probably going to catch me some heat. I think he tries to be too pro-consumer with some of the shit that he says. Like, I get it. You definitely want to appeal to the customers, but you're also a business at the end of the day. And basically saying, I hate the fact that there's console exclusives available on consoles on day one. It's like, why? Why don't you want people to buy your console? Isn't there a good reason to have incentive to buy the console? What is one of those incentives? The games that you can only play on that console.
But he does. But that's the thing with Microsoft's new direction is that he doesn't necessarily need you to buy the console. He wants you just to be in the Game Pass ecosystem and play their games on PC, play them on Xbox, play them wherever they are.
Them on your
And
phone,
he's fine
man.
with that. They still get your money. If you expand beyond your one box, you can now cater to everybody. You're no longer limited to that 60 million base. Now you have 500 million.
I think the biggest problem is that consoles, in the grand scheme of things, in terms of devices, are, I mean, like Sony said it, niche, right? They spent how many years selling 100 million, whereas cell phones sell like way more in 1 year. So I think that's the biggest issue, is getting people to buy your system and then buy the games on there with such the competition, right? Because Sony literally had the generation to themselves. So they couldn't beat out what the DS did. They couldn't beat out, what
The PS2
PS2 did, and yet there was I wouldn't say no competition, but man, it was pretty damn low. And they didn't outsell those systems. So I think that's the biggest issue that Phil Spencer sees. Like, are we ever going to be able to sell enough to where it would be like where we're going to make a significant amount of money? Whereas if they do it this way, they don't have to worry, especially to their investors, like to the CEO, like they don't have to worry about like, hey, we sold this much and it's on here. Like they can say, well, look, man, people are buying Minecraft on the Switch. Minecraft sold over millions on the Switch. We're getting hella money from that. We're getting money from this over here, from PC. We're getting money. So it doesn't look as bad because Microsoft can't sell 100 million systems. They can't. They can get close, but the only reason why they got close is because the Xbox is blowing up on people. You know what I'm saying? So like they can't get close to even selling 100 million. They've never done it, you know, and that's hard as hell. Like Sony, it's not easy for Sony Nintendo's done it once, you know, with the Wii, and you can say whatever you want about that. If you include the portables, they've sold it more, but it's just tough for a home console, right? It's not easy to do it. So I think that's where Microsoft's coming from. Like, but I get what you're saying, Sean, but it's not easy, man.
So
yeah. I just don't know if it's necessarily going to work.
Click, you're more of a PC gamer than an Xbox gamer, right? So are you going into this event mostly looking at it like, okay, what games do I got to get on PC then?
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, essentially.
Yeah.
I mean, there's just like I like the look of the console and everything, but I'm just like, okay, well, what can I get with what I already have?
That's why I figure Evan will probably look at the event like, okay,
that's why I bought my 1 terabyte solid state. Let's go.
Yeah. That could be good when it shows up on the Windows Store or Steam or any of this. I mean, they have Game Pass for PC now, so there you go.
Just but then I got to use the Windows Store, so.
Yeah, that's true. They
bastard.
Yeah. They just need to. I think they're making it a little better. Like it hasn't been as bad as it used to be for me. Oh, it's messing up for you still. Really?
It's not as bad as it was when there were 5 different programs you had to run. One to be able to get into really betas, one to check like other things. Like it was so stupid, but it's still not the best.
We have Discord questions over there, Evan.
Still got a bunch left. Yeah. All right, let's go with this. I'm pretty sure this is a troll one. Anyone know when the next Senran Kagura game is coming out?
I do not.
I don't either.
That's
I figured Nate would. Damn, Nate.
Didn't the guy leave Marvelous? The guy who makes Senran Kagura? I'm not sure if he's working there anymore.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
What'd you say, Jordan?
I said there's plenty of other sites I can direct you to, though.
Nate will get on that though. He'll figure out when the next one's coming out.
Look into it,
I'm
Nate.
really not going to do that. I have no interest in investigating that.
You want to give us another Discord question, Evan?
Okay, so the Lockhart, he was looking stuff up. I didn't actually verify any of this. The Lockhart is supposedly less powerful than the One X, but will perform better due to new hardware. Could this mean that the PS5 performance could be made up for by the better SSD?
The Lockhart's going to be using newer technology.
Yeah, it's using newer tech, but it's teraflops wise, it's supposed to be less than the One X.
Yeah, but the teraflops can't be compared. It's completely different architecture.
But that's and then his question was, could the PS5 make up for the performance gap between it and the Series X because it has the newer, better SSD?
Because probably not. I mean, here's what's going to happen.
I'm so confused.
No. The difference between the PS5 and the Xbox is pretty straightforward. They're using the same AMD chips, essentially, same generation, all that. But it's going to be interesting because I think Microsoft is really going to push frame rate. I think they're going to push resolution pretty hard during their event. I would be shocked if they streamed 4K and like really pushed like all this technical stuff. Because Sony, they streamed at like 1080p 30, and people were like, some of this stuff kind of looks like the current gen stuff, and that's because the stream looked terrible. Then they uploaded the 4K, footage of like Ratchet and Clank, and it looked a million times better. So, but no, the difference between the PS5 and the Xbox is pretty clear cut. Looking at it from like a spec sheet, it's really going to come down to how the developers can use that SSD. To maybe do different things in like a big open world or others. So what do you think, Nate? That sound about right?
Yeah. I mean, that's generally the gist of things.
Yeah. Another Discord question, Evan?
What's the most disturbing game you have ever played that you were not able to play again?
That is a good question. The most disturbing game that we played that you weren't able to play again? We didn't even get to play it, but it was going to come out on July 13th, right, Sean?
Yeah, the don't get caught.
Okay, God. Dude, I cannot believe an eShop game actually pushed Nintendo over the edge. That is crazy.
I was going to buy it too.
I know you were.
Every day.
And I was like, what is this?
Every day.
You're gonna get caught though.
I don't think I've got a game experience like that yet. I've had movies that do that, but not a game experience yet.
I'm trying to think if any no, because I went back and played Silent Hill 2 again. I'm trying to think of it. Like I was like, okay, maybe it's Silent Hill. No.
Nah, most of the horror and survival horror games were always interesting enough to go back to.
Yeah, it wasn't like I was like, what the hell? I can't play this.
There was a point with Metal Gear Solid 2 where it freaked me out for like 5 seconds when it was like, turn off your PS2 ride. And I was like, what?
Spoiler alert.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
What? I've never played. Oh, man.
You ruined it for Jordan.
I think it's whenever games break the fourth wall, there is that moment where you're like, whoa, okay, wait. And then you just kind of go past it. I don't know. No game's ever got me to the point where I couldn't just go back and play it again.
Yeah, Sam.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of something, but I got nothing.
I don't know. I can't think of anything.
Evan, we have another Discord question.
Is there a Nintendo specific game engine that they seem to be using mostly for the Switch?
Specific one for them. A lot of them, they just make their custom. They have a custom engine that they make.
Do they have it as like a named thing, or is it just like an in-house thing?
Right, it's just an in-house engine that they use. Like, what was Mario built on? That was an in-house engine, wasn't it?
It's just an in-house engine. I mean, they really haven't leaned on any one particular engine for really any of their games. Like Yoshi was on Unreal Engine 4, Odyssey was on an in-house engine, Breath of the Wild was on a different engine, Ring Fit, I believe, used the same engine as Breath of the Wild. They kind of just... they go wherever they want of whatever they feel is right for the game they're creating.
The one that'll be really interesting is what Retro uses for Metroid Prime 4. Like is it a custom one? Do they?
That was CryEngine 4.
CryEngine, they use Unreal Engine. Like I'm curious what they're going to use for that. I think they built their own engine. So
yeah, I would assume Retro is using an in-house engine. I don't think they went with a third-party middleware.
Nintendo will build their engines around the hardware.
You don't think they're using Unity, Nate?
Unity. Wow. I mean, that performs really good on the Switch, if I have to say.
It does.
It does, really.
I wasn't making a joke.
And I'm not being facetious here.
No, nope.
I just remember I Am Setsuna coming out, and I was like, "Oh, okay, so 60 frames for like a small, RPG." Like, no, it's 30 with drops. I'm like, bruh.
Evan, we got
Unity so bad on Switch.
How does for the next Switch? How does Nintendo set itself apart from the other consoles again? Like, what does it push in terms of hardware, analog triggers, stuff like that?
Stick with the hybrid. Analog triggers would be nice, but I started to think about more. I think the clicky buttons work better on the Joy-Con for traveling. I don't know. Analog would be there. There's a lot of travel to those. That's the only problem.
I mean, could we just say like driftless Joy-Cons? Would that be?
I mean, that would be a nice thing. Yes.
I also like that idea of casting the image to a display. You know, that kind of
like
dockless,
wireless,
wireless dock type of thing.
Yeah,
we talked about that in our video where the next Switch did a wireless
on the Nate the Hate show.
That would be cool. What if you had like a charging stand next to you, like on your couch, and you just set your Switch there, and you just cast wirelessly anyway to your TV.
That'd be cool.
I like that.
That's the idea. MVG and I went into great detail on a Nate the Hate episode calling. I believe it was called the next generation's or the next Switch revision will have revolutionary technology. It's on Nate the Hate right now. You can listen to it.
What kind of? You think there'd be added input lag though to that?
Well, I think there would be a little bit, but
it depends. Nintendo is good at that type of technology. We can see what they can craft. We'll find out.
I like that idea, though.
I want an ecosystem.
They could use Google's negative latency algorithm and apply that.
No, I
finally bring in Stadia. We got it.
I agree with what Click's saying. Click has. I want an ecosystem bringing over your games easily, backwards compatibility. All of that stuff needs to be. It's like it's kind of like they do backwards compatibility, but like a lot of times it gets broken, right? Or like all your Wii Virtual Console. It's just evaporated. It's just almost just stays on the Wii, like they need to be able to bring over things easier and just make sure it's like integrated a bit better. Wii to Wii U was okay.
Yeah.
But Wii U, obviously the Switch, they had no choice. But I think now that you have a successful system, you can do it.
We could have got a disc slot on the Switch for sure.
But isn't it a damn shame that we have to hope Nintendo can get with modern times and match what Microsoft and Sony are doing?
Yes.
Like the fact that it's a fear that Nintendo might not do this
It might be
really
a fear for Nintendo. Nintendo America might have that fear too. It's like I really hope they get.
I think they'll do backwards compatibility. That's what I know. I know they'll do that with the next Switch, but the other stuff,
yes, I mean
we'll
they
see.
should.
Yeah, use the cartridge.
We'll see. I think PS3 to PS4 there was no migration of your like there. What was there? You couldn't play certain games, right? Because I was just
You couldn't play any of your PS1 games because PS4 didn't have PS1 support for some weird reason.
Yeah, it's weird. If you go on if you go on the shop, it's like certain games only work on the PS3, and it's like older PS1 and PS2 titles that you would buy and play anyway. And
it was really weird. I remember when I was like,
it's weird.
Why isn't this working? And then like, of course, there was backwards compatibility with PS3, which makes sense, right? Considering the technology, maybe. I mean, I don't know, but
we have another Discord question, Evan.
Last one's kind of for me. Someone's just asking about esports wave. What happened to it at the time? Yeah, at the time I was that was when I was doing my day job as well. I just didn't have the time for it. And now I'm doing my own work, so like I don't.
Yeah, you would have had a fun couple of episodes here these past few weeks.
I mean, it's almost, but at the same time, it's almost like he said, she said, like me talking about that. So it's like I don't know if I'd rather focus on that because it was about the business of esports and how it was expanding and stuff like that and the interest to there. But our channel doesn't have that community. It has a small community of people interested, but
even like the Mixer shutting down Ninja stuff, that all would have worked in that too.
Maybe. I mean, Mixer did a couple esports based things, but it really wasn't blowing up in the scene.
They're really mixing things up. Right?
That's still major. Technically, a streaming platform collapsing. So. Let's go over here to Breath of the Wild 2. This was fun.
My pre-order's already in, man. It's gonna be great.
So Breath of the Wild 2, we had a podcast with Spanish voice actors, right? And they ended up just basically joking about the whole thing. It got picked up as a serious story that they had completed their voice acting work. And then it turned from Spanish voice actors playfully talk about or allude to Breath of the Wild 2 voice work to Spanish voice actors have finished their work on Breath of the Wild 2 to voice actors have finished their work on Breath of the Wild 2. That ended up being the headline that I eventually saw.
Irresponsible.
It was this very it was crazy that thing.
Embarrassment of reporting.
Yes.
That's reporting in
abysmal.
I saw it and I saw videos. I remember when it popped up. It was like in the morning, and I saw it, and I'm not the most fluent in Spanish, but I know I live predominantly Hispanic, area, and like when I saw it, it didn't seem like that to me, and from what I can translate, it didn't seem like they were even saying anything like what these articles were projecting. So I was like, I'm not gonna make a video. I'm just gonna wait a bit, and then all that came out. But I think it's dangerous when people do that because this stuff's NDA'd and they can lose their jobs, Yeah. So, and it's just going to make them tighten up a bit more, and even more than what we've even gotten.
Especially if they didn't actually say that.
Yeah, especially if they didn't actually say it. Like so it's unfair to those voice actors,
I think there's also the hope that a big announcement or a big game would come out this holiday, which would be Breath of the Wild 2. But we've been talking about Breath of the Wild 2 as not being a 2020 game for how long? How long has that been, Nate? Because you've even been saying, you're like, it's not.
Pretty sure this entire year.
Yeah.
And the worst thing with the reporting is, even if the voice actors finish their job, let's look back at Breath of the Wild 1 and look at the amount of voice acting that was really in it. It's not like it's hundreds of hours. It's like we can get the voice acting done early and finish the game, but immediately all these outlets were running the story. Breath of the Wild 2 voice actors finished their job. Game must be done soon. No. How you connected these dots it baffles the mind. And then all the information is wrong and they never even said these things. It was such a case of poor reporting where you put these voice actors in jeopardy of losing their jobs and violating NDA, where it's just irresponsible clickbait journalism of, we have to report something about Breath of the Wild 2. Let's run with the most outlandish headlines we can. And then it's spread everywhere. And when the podcast itself has to come out and say, like, come on, this isn't what was said. And they have to put it nicely of, do your jobs better.
Yeah, they have to cover their tracks too.
That's terrible.
Yeah.
And it's like, come on.
There's a lot of hype that day for Breath of the Wild 2020, though.
There's still a lot of people who are 100% convinced it is coming out in 3 months.
So it's not coming out it's not coming out 2020. Let's just be real about that. They would want at least a sizable, I would say, lead up for marketing. 2021 though, I think is likely for that game.
I mean, the game, that's the thing. Nintendo never even assigned a date to this game.
Yeah.
People just assumed, oh, it was at E3 2019, so that means it has to be coming out holiday 2020. I mean, it's a reasonable assumption to make, but it was never anything Nintendo ever communicated at any point in time. And now you're going to have people get all pissed off and they're going to, oh, Nintendo delayed it. How can you delay something you never dated?
Yep.
Easy. I'm going to do it right now. It's delayed.
Yeah, it's going to be one of their big titles. So they're going to take the time on it. But it's also people really want something with Nintendo to happen. And hey, you know, maybe what, like 10 days, something's supposed to happen?
I don't know. I was watching an RGT video and he was saying there's no direct because of Bakugan.
I think you could. Well, no, I just don't. I think Bakugan would have made sense if there was going to be a proper direct this month, a full-on Nintendo direct. That's a game you put in the direct. That's not a game you should. Huh?
You close out with it, Bakugan.
No, but I mean, you just throw it in there. You're like, oh, look, there's a new Bakugan. You don't do a Treehouse presentation. You're like, ooh, there's a secret surprise coming, and then it's Bakugan.
Oh my god!
You
they
said
actually sounded
Bakugan
like
in a
that.
Nintendo Direct? Like
Bakugan in a Nintendo Direct as a random game announcement makes a hell of a lot more sense than Bakugan being right alongside of Paper Mario during a Paper Mario Treehouse event.
What if it's a Mario themed direct?
Then is it really a standard Nintendo Direct?
Maybe Mario's the face of Nintendo.
Oh my god!
But if you're only talking about Mario games during this Direct, is it really? It's not your typical Nintendo Direct where you get a bunch of game announcements. It's a specialized thing, like a Pokemon Direct or a Smash Direct.
What if it's just like a first party direct?
I mean, you could do that, but how long would it be? I don't think you would have enough stuff to fill out unless you're showing gameplay of these games. Okay, then is that really a standard Nintendo Direct or is that a Nintendo Direct Mini?
We'll have to ask that Twitter account. The one I keep counting.
Is that Twitter account still tweeting out?
I think
290 days since the last Nintendo Direct.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah. That's going to be the question whenever they
minis don't count.
Yeah.
I mean, I count minis
don't count for some reason.
The last mini Direct was fine because there was a lot of different game announcements in there. But I think if you're only doing first party games or you're only doing Mario games, that to me isn't really a standard Nintendo Direct. That's a specialized Direct like a Smash or a Pokemon Direct.
That's fair.
Okay.
You got there a Sprite?
Yeah, I got a Sprite.
You know what the funny thing would be? What if they didn't call the last Direct a mini? What if they just called it a regular Direct? Would they still have that account saying the last is standard Direct? What if they just called it a regular Direct?
Called it General Direct. Like literally, General Direct is like, well, wait, it's a General Direct apparently, and it's
Yeah, because like I mean, they could have easily done it. Like it just not as good as the other Directs, you know?
No, Nintendo America, if you're listening, just call the Direct coming up. Just call it General Direct, so I can just put it on.
I think it's sort of based on time. Your mini Directs are like 20 minutes long, where your standard Directs are like 40 minutes long.
They could have easily stretched that.
It's a weird,
But to be fair,
thing with the branding.
like 20 minutes of Smash Bros.
But I mean, the thing of it is, Nintendo calls them Direct Minis and then standard Nintendo Direct. So it's not like people are just making this shit up. It's
a weird thing.
Yeah, it is a weird thing for sure.
It's like if they announce it ahead of time on Twitter, then it's a general Direct. If they shadow drop it, it's a mini. Where it's like if Nintendo doesn't build anticipation to it, if they just throw that branding mini on it because they're kind of like, yeah, we don't even give a damn. Here, you can enjoy it. We don't care. When they announce it ahead of time, they want you to get all that excited and all that pent up, and then get pissed off when Bakugan is the whole show.
They should do a Bakugan Direct.
They should do that just to piss off people at this point.
Let's go over to some of the super chats we have left, and then we'll finish up with the PS5 box art real quick. Shinru says, hey everyone, does anyone know a console that plays GBA games on TV? I remember seeing one mentioned on Newswave, but I haven't found any updates since. That was probably talking about that Hyperkin little Game Boy console thing. That thing disappeared. I don't have that.
Hopefully Polymega will release a module for it at some point.
That'd be good. GameCube with the Game Boy Advance adapter, the Retron 5, which is kind of junky, but it technically plays them.
Yep.
You have the consolizer too that you can get.
The console, that one's a little pricey though. I will. That's like $300 some odd, right?
Yeah.
That's a little. I mean, it's nice. I'll say that, but it is getting up there in price. Whereas if you get a Game Boy with the Game Boy Advance player and everything, it's pretty solid. Anthony says aiming for 50 subs by December 31st too. So pray for me all. Keep up the great work. Spawncast really love MVG's educational videos and John's teardowns. Very nice.
Thank you.
Bob says N64, the Mario 64, or Sunshine of Nintendo consoles. Oh, N64, the Mario 64 or Sunshine of Nintendo consoles.
The Mario 64. Duh.
Mario 64 is really cool, man. I've been watching some speed running of that game from Armada on Twitch, and man, like that game has.
Oh yeah, it's insane.
Yeah, it has crazy stuff in there that I could never even dream of doing. Like, I mean, speed running in a lot of Mario games are cool, but I just want to say that, like, Mario 64 speed running dope.
I don't know.
70 stars. It's really cool.
64. I guess it would be the Mario 64. It's not good enough to be the Sunshine. Then we'll go over to Bob says Devolver Direct, Sunshine or 64 of digital events. The Devolver Direct was fun. It was fun to watch, so I'll give that a Sunshine. Michael says we'll go scratch the Tenchu itch. I think it will when you turn into the ghost. Then when you're a samurai, you'll be Way the Samurai. So I'm interested. Like I said, Friday.
I don't think it's going to scratch the Tenchu itch.
Oh man!
Damn it, Nate.
Nate.
Damn it.
That's just my opinion. I don't think it is. They asked the question.
If this is, I'm hoping it's an 85 at least on Metacritic. We'll see how that goes over.
80. It's going to be an 84. You just.
Yeah, probably. Then we have Christian who says, "Let's get some cheeks clapped." Justin says, "Oh, how much is the 60-inch? My next super chat buys."
I mean, I'm assuming it's probably 25. I would think if the 30 is 15.
When are you streaming next, Sean?
I have questions though, because like the last time you showed this, it said you showed the box and it said home with a 30-inch sub. So is this 60-inch going to say home with a 60-inch sub? I mean, I don't think it's as well known because, like I said, I had to find it on the catering flyer.
Dude, you know what, Sean? You should stream, and the entire stream should be you ordering the sub, waiting for it to show up, and then showing it off. And
the ultimate Sean mukbang stream.
Order a 60-inch sub live on stream.
Unboxing, dude.
Ooh, that would be a good unboxing.
I would watch that stream. Just the anticipation of waiting for the 60-inch sub to show up, listening to what you're putting on it, right? When you order,
like, hold it up and then stand down.
See, the weird thing is on the
picked out what you eat.
On the catering on the catering thing, it says that you have to give 48 hours notice, but it also says that for the 3-footer, which you don't because I buy them all the time.
Why don't you just call and ask? Be like, hey, if I wanted a 60,
call them and be like, this is RGT 85.
Well, they know my name, right? So
I'm the guy I'm the only guy in town who keeps ordering your 30-inch sub. So get that 60 ready for me in the morning, baby.
Why don't you sponsor me while you're at it?
That'd be
good.
I would watch that stream of you ordering a sub, 60-inch sub. Just see how it turns out. Man Bond says on Ubisoft is Beyond Good and Evil officially vaporware. It might be.
But you didn't hear MVG's working on it right now. They asked us for help. MVG's on the case.
Hey, we may see it tomorrow.
MVG, you're helping out, right? Didn't they particularly ask us to help out with the game? MVG, are you on? Let us know.
Yeah, I don't know anything about that game.
I love how this menu says the sandwich serves 24 people and Sean wants it for himself.
For 3 days.
Zach says new Super Switchy 4 Cube U.
Yes.
That sounds like something.
That's the name.
Sounds like a plan.
Then Micah says you think Gods and Monsters will release this year.
No,
I don't think so.
I thought it got delayed till next year already.
Yeah, Stadia already leaked it though.
Yeah, but that was early footage apparently.
Yeah. State is good. All right. Then so yeah, next year I think is when it's going to come out because they're going to have Assassin's Creed in November, Watch Dogs,
maybe Watch Dogs and Just Dance.
Yeah.
Holy Trinity right there.
Yeah. Great. Thanks,
Ubisoft. This is from Nick saying, "Hold up, is modern vintage supposed to be an oxymoron?"
Well, yeah. I mean, it's both modern and vintage, right?
He covers both.
Ethan R says Sean finally gave retro gaming tips tonight.
I do that once in a while.
Starwolf said, "Did anyone see the Suda51 cameo in the credits of Digital Devolver's presentation?"
Yes.
Yep.
He had Ultraman Blu-ray.
Did he stop by to delay No More Heroes 3?
He was playing it with an Xbox 360 controller with a Switch dock with no Switch in it next to a Wii.
He keeps, you know how much gameplay they're starting to show off now? I really hope this game's coming out this year. How much they're actually trying to show it and like pretend like it's, you know, this joke now.
The screenshot that he showed, but the cool thing about that screenshot though is they're going back to No More Heroes 1 in terms of like the layout, because like it shows the map and you can clearly see that you're going to be able to drive around, and they showed off that, you know, the motorcycle is going to be back, so they're going back to that format. No More Heroes 2 got rid of that, and Travis Strikes Again is really weird, so that's cool. That's the cool thing about this screenshot. It does let us know that it is going back to the open-ended open area.
You still think there's chances that Travis is coming to Smash?
I don't know, but that'd be dope.
Over under 50%.
I think it's over 50%. I think
50% on the dot, baby.
I think he makes sense to
Wow, you're a guy who has dead set opinions there, OJ. 50%.
On the dot.
Quite says Bakugan was a repeat of Pokemon Unite.
Kind of, in a way.
Mike says, speaking of Mario and Luigi, do we think we'll see that same formula ever again? And yes, I was that kid on the bus playing Superstar Saga every day. See, Nate, some people bought the game.
Kid on the bus.
They have good taste.
I mean, the dream is that they get back with Square and do another Super Mario RPG.
It's been like 30 years.
Yeah, well, we could bring it back.
Can we?
Yeah.
We brought back Skate. What else will happen?
Yeah, if we just comment about it enough, they'll be like, fine.
But what if Skate isn't good? Like, what if they mess it up?
Stop saying things like this.
You know, if Skate isn't good, we always have Skater XL, right, Jordan?
Shut up. We have Skate 3.
Juice Man Vaughn says, hot take, Paper Mario fans aren't really Paper Mario fans. They just like the 1,000-year door a lot.
Yes.
Ooh.
Oof.
I don't even
Well,
know.
if you only like one game in the series or two games, and there's been like hella Paper Mario games, they're more fans of that game than the actual franchise. Like there's fans of just the new God of War, but not actually God of War fans, like the series, you know?
I only ever beat the original Paper Mario, so.
Hey,
they beat every single God of War game.
Still good. You can still go back and play it.
Yeah, it's a good game. I can play it on my Snap station.
There you go. Eric Popowich says, love all you beautiful people. Tone says, Elden Ring leak. Anyone up there got info? I did not see a recent leak for it.
Would like to, though.
Maybe it'll be at Microsoft's July event.
I hope so.
David says Cubfu will come to Smash to sell Pokemon DLC with Hop to pause the fight to explain.
No, Urshifu would come. That's the new legendary from the DLC that you get.
What are these names?
Oh man, Rain's Pokemon names.
I just start criticizing the names. It take like 2 years to open one pack, Jordan, because I just get mad at all the names.
I thought it'd be funny to do like an April Fool's video where I take literally like 10 minutes to hit the 10-minute mark of opening one pack, and I slowly go through the cards and I read off everything on the card. I don't know. Never did it. Sounded too boring to even film.
Zaire Miller says, I remember Paper Mario more for its humor and story and less for its RPG mechanics. Now I see Paper Mario more of adventure game with RPG elements.
Yep.
Indeed.
Symphonic Balance says, is anybody here on the Spawncast planning to stream the Xbox event? Also, shout out for MVG and his work with Limited Run. Stay safe, all. Yeah, I think I'm streaming it. MVG, I'm sure, is going to stream it.
Yep.
I'm sure OJ will stream it.
Sure.
It's probably forget to stream.
Maybe. Yes. Like, yes. I don't know if Sean will.
What time is it?
I think it's like noon.
9 East Eastern. No, 9 Pacific.
9 Pacific. Yeah.
I might do that. Yeah, don't be up.
Just put us on a multi-stream tab and watch all of us at the same time.
Yeah.
It'll work.
Peter says, "This is just me or is Perfect Dark, Fable 4 not really big hitters for the average consumer? I think they will need to be very well developed."
Fable
Absolutely.
is going to be epic.
Absolutely 100% spot on comment that he said.
They need to be. Yeah, they need to be. You
They
can't
have
sell
to
it
be.
on name alone. They have to be good games. But we've seen before, right? Like if you can take a game and you can make it way better than what it was and market it right, then yeah, you can. It can blow up. It can be much better than what people thought it was going to be. So I mean, that's the biggest thing because it still has some brand recognition, and then you can get new people. You know what I'm saying? So.
Yeah, Fable's going to be a case of that. I mean, the most recent example we can probably use would be Luigi's Mansion. Luigi's Mansion 1 on the GameCube was not a huge success. Gave it to next level. They make Luigi's Mansion 2 on the 3DS. All of a sudden, that's a pretty big franchise to Nintendo right now.
Luigi Mansion 3 was good.
So, I mean, Playground is going to come big with Fable.
The real question is, can you kick chickens in the new Fable game?
You kick them so hard, they just fly miles. And the feathers fall off everywhere, and then you can shoot it into the sun with magic.
If they do have Fable there, I'm excited to see it. I want to see what they did with that.
I hope it's Fable 3 remastered.
Fable the Journey 2. How about Fable the Journey 2?
Fable the Journey 2.
You know what, Jordan? What's really funny is if I do get Scott Pilgrim tomorrow, they absolutely will do it. Fable 3 is like when the monkey paw closes. It's like, okay, you get Scott Pilgrim, but then Fable 3 is the remaster. That's the big Fable.
Yeah, no new Fable. It's just
Great.
Fable 3 again.
All right.
If you get Scott Pilgrim, Ubisoft is canceling the next gen Splinter Cell. Choose which one you want.
I think that game got canceled.
I want the next
anyway.
That's Splinter Cell.
Based on-
Whatever
Splinter
next Splinter
Cell.
Cell game
Based
is.
on everything that came out of Ubisoft today, I think that game's been canceled.
Next gen. No, they'll make one at some point. They'll have to.
Yeah, he's on your cell phone, remember?
No, not that. They'll make it a good one. Like that's like Chaos Theory. Like they'll make one that's like as good as that.
But he is on your cell phone,
Press
don't forget.
X to
No,
down.
he is on our. He is.
Oh,
on
he's
our-
also in the Ghost Recon Wildlands, isn't he? Didn't they put him in that game?
Awesome.
Yes, they
Amazing.
There you go. There you go. You can play as Sam Fisher. He's just in a
It's
game you
hot
didn't want to play.
trash, bro. Even watching it, it's hot trash. Like I don't watch people play games that I don't like easy, but that game's horrible. In my
I mean, you know, it is what it is. Ubisoft be doing what they want to do all the time.
Becca's Live says, "I'll say I like the card openings. Glad they are still happening on Twitch. The
Thank you.
Cinderace VMAX. I say that right? Cinderace.
Yeah, you got it. Yeah,
Oh,
that's right. I
all
finally
right.
pulled a card
First
that took
try.
like 700 packs to open. So
Awesome. So, what 700 packs?
I've been opening a lot of packs. I don't know if you knew this, but I had a channel where I just opened packs every day.
I'm not getting 700 packs.
It's a lot of packs.
I mean, it is what it is.
Well, enjoy not collecting all of them.
How many
way.
doubles did you have?
Oh, I have so much bulk. It's crazy.
Excited for what's to come, Jordan.
He uses them to heat his
Appreciate
room.
it. I'm excited too. It's completely different. It's not my name. The whole channel name's changing.
Eric says, regardless whether Halo is there or not, at launch, Banjo has a potential to take simple-minded people like me to throw 500 at a box of plastic. Then Nexus says, why not have the Super Lucky's Tale devs make Banjo redoey or just get Platonic? I thought it'd been cool if they got Platonic to do it. But they, you know what? That would be a third-party hire. There you go, Nate. Have them come in.
Platonic hasn't proven to me that they can do a really good 3D platforming game yet.
I think
Ukulele and the Labyrinth was good. Ukulele wasn't that good.
There was a good base there, though. I think if they had some more resources and some more time with Microsoft, I think they can definitely make a much better game than 3D one.
That's a good point. Yeah. Corey says, please have Sam and Ralph from Layman Gaming on as a guest sometime. I told them about your show and they said they would love to. Okay. Sam and Ralph from Layman Gaming. I know Layman Gaming. Yeah. Okay. I'll check in with them. Cedric says Hop is short for hopeless, like his Pokemon career.
Ooh.
Man, Hop is just getting beaten down.
No love.
Yeah.
Hop deserves.
Justin says, appreciate you guys. Make sure RGT85 gets that 60-inch sub.
Oh wait,
Justin bought you a 60-inch sub, Sean.
I saw it. Yeah.
Yeah.
He also bought YouTube like a 15-inch sub or something like that as well.
I think that's why he put that much in so that it could Then Venezuela says, "Great show as always. Thank you all." I'll double check Streamlabs before we finish up. Let's finish up with the PS5 box art. Everyone saw it. It's looks very similar to the PS4 box art, except there's a white stripe at the top with the PS5 logo. Still in the blue casing. Don't know if I like that as much. I think I would prefer to go away from the blue casing.
Yeah, the blue casing to me just something. It doesn't mesh well with the color scheme they're going for.
It's Sony, man. It's Sony. Sony. It's the blue for Sony. It makes sense to me that they do that.
I'm fine with it. I think they could have mirrored the console by having the white strip, so it's white on the outside, and then the case be black, like a translucent black color.
I like the idea of the black casing. Yeah, there was that.
I really hope it's different, so it doesn't look the same next to my PS4.
I think it's gonna look the same, dude.
That's gonna really annoy me. I can't wait for Xbox to come out with the same exact green cases, except now there's like a different color.
I think they're gonna do the same thing. I think they're gonna have very similar
guys. New color cases, new shapes. Let's do it.
I know. I was really hoping they would you think they would have could have made them a little taller, maybe, so that they don't sit perfectly flush with their PS4. I don't know.
Well, they just make them like squares, make them like CDs.
That'd actually been pretty fun if they did that. Yeah.
I just don't like the white stripe. I think it looks like a bootleg.
It looks like somebody like took a white piece of paper and put PS5 on it.
Literally what it looks like.
Scribbled it.
Maybe somebody did do that.
I mean, I guess at the end of the day, it's a box art, and based on what we're hearing from companies like Capcom, where they're 80% digital now, and they're shooting for 90% by next year, I guess the box art won't matter next gen anyway.
Stop it.
No, no. Did you hear that? Did you see that article though, Sean?
Stop it.
No. Did you see that article?
No.
He doesn't want to.
Go read it. That's nightmares right there.
I don't know how to read.
It's pretty.
They said
I believe you, Sean.
Bad, but try your best.
80% digital, bro, and that's Capcom. They sell the biggest games in the biggest. They have Resident Evil, they have Monster Hunter, and they have all sorts of stuff, man.
They have other things.
That's scary.
Yep. Goodbye to physical media, Sean. But hopefully, limited run is
I'm to quit gaming.
Yeah, but if they don't have a way to play,
oh no! What if there's no disk drive?
Uh-oh. That's when I quit gaming.
That's the end.
Digital run games.
Oh no,
man! If there's no more disc drives next gen and Sean quits gaming, his channel will actually have to be about retro games.
Yeah.
And retro system. Let me and to finish up here, we have Jeff Burns saying most disturbing game I ever played was GTA 5 because I bought it for the 360, played for 20 minutes, my belly hurt. I went and laid down. Ended up having to go to the hospital to have an emergency surgery, take out my gallbladder out. Every time I play it, then it cuts off.
I guess.
You what? What?
We don't know what happened to them.
What happened?
Flashbacks?
I assume flashbacks because that is really
PTSD.
connected to it. You're like,
yeah.
At that point. That makes sense, Jeff.
Yeah, sorry about that, bro. That's rough.
Yeah, that's not good.
I mean, you might need your gallbladder. Maybe you don't.
Solve says, so for PS5 next gen exclusives, do you think that they are going to be much more superior to the Xbox exclusives coming to both Xbox One and Series X? You just mean the exclusives because they're going to have to design for the Xbox One VCR as well. That's the problem that's the thing we're still not sure. That's why we got to see this event. We got to see, because Halo Infinite's coming to both. When we see that gameplay, then we'll be able to tell. It's like, okay, yeah, that might be 540p on the Xbox One VCR, but hey, you know what? It's 4K on the.
I forgot who it was, but one of the just talked about this. But these developers, they do multiple settings all the time. Like, I don't think people that are trying to put up this, since they're making it on this, it's gonna hold back everything that it's that's not it. They know how to develop. They know how to put it. It's gonna be the difference between like having the game on high or whatever and having it on. It's not going to affect it that much.
The main thing,
in my opinion,
the main thing for the development is going to be those moments like in Final Fantasy VII Remaster or Remake, where you're going through like areas, kind of pinching through walls to slow down so everything loads. Like that's going to be kind of the main drawback.
That is interesting. I guess your character just teleports through it real fast on the Series X.
Yeah, just press X to skip.
Yeah. And then we finish up here with Shamsa coming in with a $200 donation. No message, but thank you, Shamsa, coming in again.
Shout out to Shamsa.
Shamsa, yes.
Amazing.
Indeed.
Well, Shamsa, I think I was watching. Was I watching your stream earlier, OJ, when Shamsa came through?
Shamsa always comes through.
Because you're talking about Shamsa being part of the round table. So
yeah. We got Shamsa coming. So that's she made an emote, and she can draw. Did you? I don't know.
What?
Yes, she can draw. I don't. There's no way of me showing it, but I guess I can put it in the chat for you or in the group chat here for you guys. But yeah, she can draw really good. Yeah, I'll put it in there. But yeah, Shamsa can draw. She's awesome. She really is.
Wow. Okay, that's cool. I will say.
Shout out to Shamsa.
Shamsa, thank you very much. Appreciate it big time. And like I said, you made Nate dedicate entire Nate the Hate to, what was it, Nate?
Super Mario Sunshine.
That's right. Shamsa knows. Shamsa knows.
Yep. I did dedicated to that game.
That looks like I think that's everything though. Yep, we are all good here. Let's go around starting with OJ. Where can they find you, man?
Yeah, you can find me right here on YouTube at Player Essence on Twitter. Just Player Essence on YouTube. This upcoming week, we've got some pretty cool streams that we're going to be doing. It's going to be a lot of fun. Definitely some GameCube stuff. I got my GameCube capture card working, so going to be doing some GameCube stuff. So yeah, if you're into streams and you're also into just regular, like I do news videos and other content, Nintendo stuff, JRPG stuff, all that. Yeah, that'll be this week. So it should be a lot of fun. Subscribe.
What about MVG?
You can find me on Twitter at Modern Vintage G, YouTube Modern Vintage Gamer. Got a usual Monday video coming, and that's about it. Thanks for having me on. Oh, I did want to say real quick, it's the 5th anniversary of Satoru Iwata's passing today, and I just wanted to dedicate this episode to him. He's someone that has been a big influence in my life as far as, someone who grew up as a developer and made his way all the way through the ranks as the president. So just wanted to, mention that in this episode. Thanks for having me on.
And then Miss Click.
Yeah. Just obviously to echo respects, like MVG said. I'm sure many of us can remember that day, and I feel like it changed a lot of us.
Horrible.
But yeah, you can find me here on YouTube as Miss Click Gaming, or you can find me live every day on Twitch at MissClick_live, or actually you can type in Miss Click Gaming and Twitch will pull it up as well. So it's easy now. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. I had fun. Thanks for having me.
And then Sean.
Find me making mediocre videos on RGT85. Tomorrow should be a video up on Deadly Premonition 2. Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, mistakes were made. And then, yeah, who else? Well, whatever. I don't know what else is going up this week, but I'm sure there'll be some stuff.
Okay, very cool. Then Jordan.
I do want to say again, rest in peace to Iwata. It's crazy that it's been 5 years already. I would mention, hey, subscribe to my channel, but the channel's changing in a week. I'll talk about it next week. I stream on Twitch 3 times a week, though, so you can follow me on Twitch, twitch.tv/JordanFringe. And if you want to ask more questions or have updates on what the channel's becoming, you can ask me on there.
And then Nate.
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter at Nate the Hate, followed by the number 2. I have a video up there right now talking about the Xbox Series X July event. Probably have 2 videos going on the Nate the Hate channel next week. Find out what those are when they drop. Not sure what will be dropping on the Direct Feed Game channel next week. Really haven't played anything new this week, so have to see what Magic games come out next week. And to echo the respects to Satoru Iwata, he was a visionary for the industry. He gave us the Switch. He revolutionized Nintendo, and he always has the one quote that everyone can make reference to for all future generations, that video games are supposed to be fun for everyone. And that's something that the industry has to look to and remember every single day, of that this industry is about entertainment, fun, and just bringing joy to families and people around the world.
Okay. And then Evan.
You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, Twitch at Kimmerix Project. I'm not really streaming recently. I'm trying to finish up a commission piece that I'm finding I'm covering more ground on without people watching me and talking to me on Twitch. So I just really want to get through it. And then past that, we might do some games and other art stuff. So yeah.
Cool. Okay. That's going to do it here for Spawncast episode 171. Thanks everyone for joining us. And we'll be back next Saturday night. I don't think a direct will be this week. It's apparently rumored to be the following week, but I'm sure we'll still have other things to go over as well. And we'll see you guys then.
Maybe.